a
not
lot
coastline
of
anymore.
angles that can be played, a lot of gunfights that you can encounter with one another, and
Yeah.
since attackers do have the better guns, they're more likely to win those gunfights. But I mean, if both teams are ready, I don't know. I want to get an update on that before we continue talking about maybe the major league games. But um, speaking of the major leagues as well, before we end up heading into um, that the matchup or anything like that, I do want to talk about again, like I said, the major league games: Machine Soldiers Academy versus
All track esports.
Ooh. Oh, Trek Esports. Oh
Yeah,
my
all track
lord. Yeah,
esports.
Trek Esports. I was like, I had a brain fart. I was like, I remember the team.
We all
No,
have
I
those.
didn't.
We all have
Almost,
those moments.
almost called them recognized talent. But yes, Trek
Oh,
Esports versus Machine Soldiers Academy. Machine Soldiers Academy obviously going through a bit of a rebuild at the moment. Losing a lot of their players, and then um, heading into the major league seasons with the forfeit loss. And so that means that with the players that they did lose, such as Den, such as Toucan, and stuff like that, it leaves a lot of holes inside of their lineup. I mean, they do have some players to fill up those holes. That's why they're playing today. But we aren't talking about the major league games. I was talking about them. We're gonna go ahead straight into Chalet. The first band being Thatcher, not unexpected. The second band is probably gonna be a Flores because those are the default bands that tend to happen on Chalet.
Especially you think for top floor. You're thinking for master bedroom. That shield on piano. Flores is such a key part to that. Thinker though, I mean, Thinker is I've seen it used a lot in talent league matches, especially in previous weeks. I pretty much see a Thinker every sort of round. It gives that health boost, and you have the Gon 6 and the LMG. A Mirror on the side for defense. I mean, definitely for top floor, and you have some bottom floor strats with Mirror. I think most of the sites on this map you can use Mirror in some sort of capacity, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Mirror tends to be a very default ban on Chalet.
Ooh.
Very default. A default ban on Chalet most of the time, and this is an interesting one. You don't usually see Smoke banned a lot of the times. It's a very valid ban. It makes a lot of sense. And for the side of Goldinis, I wonder if it's just about maybe they don't do well with time, and Smoke is just one of those operators where it burns off time. It burns off too much time for them. Maybe they take too much time on the attacks and they notice this and they want to ban it against them. Or maybe they've struggled with Smoke in the past.
Maybe they
And
struggle with map control.
yeah, maybe
I
they
think, as you
struggle with
said,
map
yeah,
control.
and definitely when you got 30 seconds left in a round, trying to
Mm.
execute on site with a smoke player is it's a lot harder, especially on Chalet when you have to be forced into these single corridors. Smoke is definitely a big pick, definitely a big ban to go in for this map at least. And I agree with what you were saying earlier with maybe the team.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
It
defused by
takes a lot of
attackers.
time, definitely.
The site we do go to is going to be the master bedroom office site, and this is actually a bit of a surprise. The thing about this site that's kind of weird is that when Chalet was reworked and then it was introduced into the competitive and ranked map pool, this site was the first site that people usually went to, and then that's slowly fallen out of favor and it switched up to the bar gaming site or even the kitchen dining site. So this is an interesting choice for Goldinis to start off. The round, the Alibi being picked as well as the Thunderbird and the Malusi. This is an interesting picks from Coates, especially with the way that he's setting up his clones. I saw one by those kennels windows, and then he's setting one up by those holes that's on the wall that connects. Oh, okay. But other than that, no real surprises on this setup from Goldinis. Steve Cox is trying to play really aggressive on these fireplace balcony, looking towards the kennels window, and then other than that, not really anything to note of yet.
I mean, I have a question for you. It's about Nomad. I mean, before this patch, before the two claymores came out, Nomad was almost sort of a expected pick for the side attackers. Obviously, with two claymores now, and the amount of drones you can use, I mean, zero. Do you think Nomad is such a big pick anymore? Do you think it's necessary for teams to pick Nomad anymore?
It depends on how you want to play it. Maybe a lot of teams tend to pick Nomad as like a comfort pick because especially on Chalet where there's a lot of flanks, a lot of flank opportunities for the defense. Like think from basement, If you're attacking Solarium, think from basement all the way up to trophy. Maybe you want to set up a nomad there so that you don't have to have a player consistently watch it on their drone or consistently watch it with their guns, as the first gunfight is going to happen from the library hallway window. Cox is defending that area with his life, and he does get a little bit of damage done to him, but he has the Thunderbird utility in order to heal him up. The first few kills go out. Goldinis have the lead so far in terms of man count, and it continues to increase. Last killer ends up knifing the last player down for insult. Cox is there to take out Mouse, and it leaves Matto in the 1v4 situation. He's full health. The last killer is on flashing red HP. There are gunshots raining at him, and he is on the upside down rappel. But whether or not he can get a kill from this, well, it is yet to be seen. It looks like he saw someone. He has a nitro assault thrown at him, and he looks at him. Oh, that was so funny. He looks at a player, and then he immediately destroys them. Fallen is the first to fall in this 1v4 situation. This actually isn't very clutchable for him. He has 3 other players to worry about. Last killer, again, is on flashing red HP. Just to remind those that are watching, if you can't see it on your screen, of course you can. But Matto, again, is in a really bad predicament. He jumps in the window, but he doesn't see that Crystal is to his left, and he dies to him, and it is the first round for Goldinis.
I mean, the defensive side there, just the attacking side there, Nerf miners just didn't get enough map control early on. They pushed below and got absolutely punished by Killer. He got a 2k that round just from below. So, I mean, it definitely crumbled a lot from the side of Nerf Miner towards bottom floor. I think they focused too much on trying to get rid of the bonus on bottom floor. What they need to do there was maybe push library. They've got the nomads. They do have the sound cues of even if the nomad gets shot out, they still know if they go in for a flank. So focus more on the flanks than getting map control. Because I mean, Habana Matto was just stuck. He was on the rappel on what is it? Astro. It's not called Astro, is it? I'm blanking on the call out, but he was on Solarium rappel. But they had no sort of map control that they got before that. It was just a challenge to jump in that library window, and he got punished, and it was an easy round for Golden. So I mean, he put it down to a 1v4. Just an overall solid round from Goldens, but there is some sort of part of the lucky part on towards Nerf Miner. I mean, for this site, they have gone to Bar. Now, Bar is a very good map because you can literally just play vertical. You open the 2 hatches in library here, and you hold library, hold mezzanine, and it's basically a free round as long as you don't get rushed on site.
Yeah. Just to yes, the frost pick. Thank you, TTL. The frost pick coming in from last kill. You see where she's placing those frost traps. One is on those one of the smaller library windows that rest on that south side. The first kill coming from Jolin, and a nice little trade coming in from Cox. As it seems from the Sledge that he just not really wanted to rush, but he wanted to gain control of Garage early on. He got the first kill. There goes a second for Nerf Miner as they look to enact some very early aggression onto this Goldinis defense. Last kill and Crystal are the 2 to fall for Goldinis as Nerf Miners establish their main advantage.
I like this early aggression on the side of Nerf Miner here. Although the Sledge did die, he at least got a trade then. Oh, Glaz!
Wow.
Ooh, Glaz just misses out. Cox gets a kill onto Joe Barber there. That's a bit unlucky from the side of Glaz. I mean, I think one more shot and he would have got that kill, definitely. Glaz it's a hard pick to use. It's definitely limited on the rate of fire to your clicking potential, but you need to have that aim. But I mean, Golden's a boy back to a 3v3, and Nerf Miners still have no sort of control. I mean, they can push into bottom. You see the 2 players pushing into Garage there, and the 1 player pushing towards Library. I mean, he's on Library window. One gets a kill onto Matto. That makes it a 2v3. This has already slipped into Golden's hand here. They've reversed this around. Goldens have just literally got a player inside. They know where the player is on main stairs of Mouse. So Nerf Miner are separated here. They got 1 player below and 1 player in Library. Wouldn't be.
Yeah, this doesn't look too good for them. They had that early man advantage. It's what they struggled with in the first round as well, just not gaining the map control enough to the point where it's effective for them. Here comes the swing from Fallen, and the frost mat happens for the Capital of Toads. And there you go.
Hogmat.
He gets his toes caught in the hog mat, and he gets punished for it. And it's another round for Goldinis. That time, Nerf miners did have the main advantage, but for them, it was just not really. It was the same mistake as that they had in the very first round, where they just
slowing down, separating.
Separating, not enough map control, nothing going in their way, and they didn't really have anything to work off of. It just didn't look good on their attack, if I may say. But okay, Goldini is going down to the very the bottom site. Oh my god, I'm having so many brain farts. But the bottom site of basement, wine cellar, and snowmobile garage for their third round that they could potentially claim in a row.
I mean, Nerf Miner, they had the early aggression, as you said. They got the 2 kills, but they needed to keep up that pressure. I think that was the one thing I would have added on to that. The reason that Nerf Miner kind of lost there. It's just keeping onto aggression. They're playing a bit too passive after they get these opening picks here. I mean, they gain the map control and then just give it up straight away, slowing down. I mean, for this sort of round, I want them to... We need to see sort of a more aggressive push. Get middle floor control really easily. Get into boiler, open up your long angles, open up your way into sight. That left side wall there, you see the that left side wall. Open a hole with Hibana. I don't think they have Hibana. They don't have hard breach here, Wumbi. I just realised I'm talking about what they should open, but they don't have hard breach. They don't have a hard breach gadget. Where are they going to push him actually? Because they can't get hatch. They can't open double wall. Is it going to be a rush? It might be a rush. It's going to be a rush.
From Barchi, last killer, Cox absolutely decimating the side. Goldini's turning up. I don't know what the hell that rush was from Nerf Miners. Matto finally finds a trade inside of this round. It's a nice little headshot onto Cristal. He throws a grenade in order to cover his flank. It finally goes off, but he doesn't even look behind him. Cox is there, and it's a round for Goldini's. A horrific rush from Nerf Miners. I don't know.
We got caught up on explaining strategy there. Passed off the right time, and they just instantly die. I mean, I was like, they're gonna rush here. They gone 6 open the door, and they just. I don't even know. They just got insta-killed. They all lined up, I think. They were literally in a massive line. It was a conga line.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing about that site. You can't, like, sometimes rushes do work, but you can't necessarily attack the stat. You can't really attack that. You can't really rush
That's
that
default.
site.
That's the expected place.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just that they attacked that site. They rushed it without really any hard breaches. I mean, and that's, if you're rushing, you don't really need hard breaches to rush, but you're running right into the line of sights of the Goldinis players. And on top of that, they didn't really react. They obviously didn't react fast enough in order to, like, win their gunfights, and that's exactly how they lost that round. It was just Goldinis absolutely decimating them every single time. Each and every time, every single one of those players ran in. It was one by one by one. I didn't really feel like they rushed it as a team, but they just died as individuals. Is the best way I can explain it. But the second floor site on this master bedroom office is going to be, again, the site that Goldinis goes with, because since they did win their other rounds, they won this round, so it was lost the first time, and now they unlocked it again, and so they're gonna go back to it again. It seems to be a nice little extension as well towards library, where they reinforce one of the walls and then open up some line of sights towards the library windows. But it doesn't look like any of the Goldinis players. Actually, sorry, Cox is playing there, and he does claim the first kill from that angle that I was talking about, and it was a ooh, I like that. I think one of the players was repelled maybe upside down, and he just found the tight angle, but he gets blown up from below. Jobama is there, and he could have grabbed himself a second. It's a nice little flick from last killer. A lot of action going on at the early bit of this round, and
Does he know
for
he's there?
Goldinis, they come out on top with the man advantage. Matto should have probably gotten a trade there, but he has to be careful as he has the fuser, and he is the lone hard breacher for Nerf Miners.
I mean, Sledge is trying to get some wallbangs here. They know where they are. They need to cut off this player, but they don't want to focus too long. Oh, that's just unlucky siege timing again.
Oh my god.
If he had his rifle out there, that would have been such an easy kill onto last killer. They are going to collapse onto this Thunderbird player here, but he has so many angles that he can watch. He can almost delay so much time on the side of Nerf Miner.
God, he's
I mean,
actually-
will he escape it? I think he is going to escape. No, he's down.
Oh.
Jolin gets a kill onto Mud, and now it's a 3 versus 3. But Mud just wasted an entire 45, 30 seconds. And I mean, they haven't got any sort of control. They haven't got rid of the shield on Piano. So, I mean, Goldings here can just chillax and just say, Mud, thank you for the wasting of time there, mate. You just saved that round for us.
Yeah, that's a good, like you said, he got a kill for his troubles as well, so it's not like he left, or he died with any sort of like negativity to his name. He got a good kill. Although it is an even man count between both teams, he still got a good kill and he wasted enough time. You see the hard beast utility being used from Nerf Miners as they get rid of that office wall. They're trying to go for a default plant. Flash grenades as well as a frag grenade being thrown, as well as this eventual swing does come out. Tobes is there to grab a kill and to bombard you, but do they know that Fallen is there as well? They have to have a clue of where one of these two players are. Crystal is in the, well, right behind Fallen. Fallen actually gets Tobes and throws out a nitro as well. Doesn't get nobody as Matto goes for a default plant spot. Jolin is there to watch, but it's not good enough. That's horrific plant watch, horrific plant watch from Jolon, as he has to clutch this out for himself with 2 seconds left to go. He grabs one because Fallen was already down. The 1v1 situation, Crystal playing tic-tac-toe with this man, and he doesn't win. Jolin with the 1v2 clutch, and Nerf Miners finally find their first round, but I don't know.
I thought they were going to win. That was like 1 second left. But I mean, Jolin just gets the kill with that sledge. And I mean, they had 1 minute 10 to execute. They opened up wall. And I mean, that plant watch, it wasn't, to be fair, he had to watch 2 angles there, 1B. He had to watch, he knew one was Piano and he knew one was Master. So it is a hard job to do, to watch both of those angles. You kind of have to guess, and obviously he guessed wrong. But I mean, still a solid round for Nerf Miner. I mean, I can't really say much on it. I mean, the Thunderbird did waste a lot of time. Mud did waste a lot of time in library, but they still managed to get the win. They still managed to get post plant down. And I mean, Sledge is just winning those kills. Jolin's just winning his 1v2s there, one day. I mean, we have to say in this game, if you can hit your shots, you're gonna win the round. I mean, that's last round. This round, Goldings have gone back to their good side of bar and gaming, holding up top floor. We do see the Frostmat coming out again. I want to see another Pogmat kill 1B. I do want to see another Pogmat kill.
Well,
10 seconds left before
they did see the operators in the pig face, so they should know that the frost is in play. But the thing about Nerf Miners that's been a consistent issue for them is time, and that's why these frost mats are going to be really effective. That's why I got the kill on the Capital in the first place. The Capital rushed himself because he realized that he didn't have enough time to do anything, so he just had to get inside of the map. And unluckily for him, there was a frost mat like waiting right there for him. So hopefully Nerf Miners have learned their lesson. Even after that round, I felt like that round they most definitely should have lost. I felt like it was way too close for comfort. Oh, never mind. There is no reveal phase anymore. Thank you so much. So there is no reveal phase anymore, but their droning should be good enough to find out who these operators are. And
I mean,
if
they
they
still
figure
got
out that
V-pick
there is
anyway.
if they figure out that there is a frost in play, then they should be careful about their timing inside of this matchup. So
We might get into the action here, actually. We might see a kill within the next 10 seconds. I mean, they have got jungle, they have got library. This side is definitely a lot harder here. We see that Flores join a massive thorn in the side for Cokes here. If he manages to get distracted from the Piano double door, I mean, he could be blown up there. But I mean, there's definitely going to be a gunfight coming out here soon. It's a 3 versus at least 5 people there. They are going to burn these ADSs and get rid of this shield. Hopefully. No, Mike catches the actual grenade. This shield is still standing up. Fallen gets a kill onto Joe Barber. Bomb gets a kill onto Joe, and Joe Barber gets a flag back onto Cox. It's now a 4 versus 3. And I mean, that was just 3 kills in quick succession, but they do manage to get that shield on long now, so they can start putting extra pressure, Nerf Miner, onto this player playing in jungle. There is a down on Library, and he's not going to get picked up there, I don't think. Mouse gets the kill, their final kill there. Fallen gets a kill onto Matto. 2 versus 3. Make that a 2 versus 2. Mouse gets a kill onto Fallen. It's Tozen and Mouse versus Mud and Crystal. I mean, anything can happen these last 52 seconds here. Nerf Miner just needs to slow down, drone out, which is what they're doing right there. Both of them are droning. They identify where the players are, which are both on site, so they can play on these hatches. You just see the hatch there. He does catch the feet of Crystal there, but he does rotate back down. So now they know there is only one player on site, and he is playing in mud. So technically, there's no players in sight here. If they do drone him out, they could get killed, but this is going to be very close here. Crystal could get a kill on the player playing on jungle. This is going to be a very close gunfight. They have to hit it here. They're just waiting. It's like a snake waiting in his grass for his prey. The Melusi's there, so he knows he's coming. Wait, Thompson gets a kill on Crystal. That's a 2 versus 1 now. Plant's going down. The Frost is going to try and get this kill here. Does he know where he's planting? Behind the bar. The player is working around bar, and Mouse gets a kill onto Mud. Beautiful wrap up there from Nerf Miner. Getting the kill onto the Mud was definitely the changing point in that round. 2 versus 2. That Mud player was watching. Yeah, that player was watching on jungle. And if they didn't get the kill onto Mud, I mean, that could have been a very different round there.
Yeah, Mouse wasn't even looking the right way neither. So I felt like Tobes in that situation was definitely saved his teammates butt. Right there, when that gunfight was eventually going to happen, Mouse was again, like I said, he wasn't even looking the right way necessarily. It was a nice 2v2 though that was played from Nerf Miners, and they had the opportunity to tie up the scoreline between Goldinis and Nerf Miners and make this scoreline a 3-3. Because at first it was Goldinis just rolling over Nerf Miners for the majority of this matchup so far. It wasn't even close in those 3 rounds that Goldinis won in a row. These last 2 rounds that Nerf Miners though, that they've won at least, have been very, very close. And it comes off the back of a nice 1v2 from Jolin and also a nice 2v2 from Tobes and Mouse. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe I want to see more consistency from Nerf Miners. Like whether that be like maybe like a more dominating round win. I feel like that's what they kind of need, especially maybe in this upcoming round. But for me, just like more consistency in the frag department. I feel like they're very even on the scoreboard. All of them are negative, so that's probably not the best way to put it. But they are very close. They're all very close in terms of frags. As for Goldinis, you have Bombarchi, Last Killer. Cox is doing his job, going 6-2, 6-3 from Bombarchi, and Last Killer going 5-3. You can see the consistent performers for Goldinis. For Nerf Miners, maybe they need to establish themselves more inside of this matchup.
I think they do have a very good start to the round, Nerf Miner. I think their problem is their mid game. When they get that aggressive push, they start off very aggressive, but when they slow down, they seem to sort of lose. It's more about losing time. They just slow down, and that allows Goldins to catch up. I think for these last 2 rounds, Nerf Miner have just been better on their clutches, better on their late game pushes here. Jolin could get a kill with this grenade though. Yeah, he does! What a kill onto Mud there. It's that game sense. He just knows where he is. I don't think they know where that Jaeger that both the Jaeger and Melusi are playing on mid floor as well.
It looks like the Jaeger actually did get droned out, and he shot the drone, so that should alert the position of him. He does. Joe Obama finds 2 actually. That was the Melusi that was supporting the Jaeger, but then she got down, and so did Bombarchi. So it leaves Fallen and Cox in the 2v4 situation, or 2v5 situation actually, as I correct myself. But this is what I'm talking about. I do want to see like more consistency between these rounds, or even in these rounds. But again, like you said, they seem to struggle in the mid round. They have like Fallen is 4-3. That's not the most impressive scoreline, but he can most definitely help his team fight back inside of this round. As a jump for Cox, and he doesn't claim not a single kill because all 3 of the Nerf Miner players are just pushing up those stairs. He could have claimed himself 2 were it not for the 3rd right behind him. Fallen in the 1v5 situation, and it's Tobes to end this round off and half off for Nerf Miners. They can get a 3-3 half for this team. preferable.
I think the fact that Nerf Miner have been able to get 3 rounds back just really shows their grit and determination. That round, they've slowly been getting better on me, haven't they? They started off really badly, but they've eased into it now. And I mean, that last round was flawless, so they're definitely in the controlling seat right now. Goldins have just been absolutely demoralized at that point. I mean, that's not going to sit well. They have to have a mental reset here and just perform well on attack because it's either Nerf Miner's got a lot better or Goldins have just slipped. I'm not sure which one it is, one B.
What?
Whether that Nerf Miner have just eased into the game or Goldins have gone, oh, we're getting too cocky now.
Oh no.
We're just winning by 3-0 here. And they've just given up. Well, they've just slowed down a lot more and that's managed Nerf Miner to get into it. I mean,
I don't think it's Goldinis playing too cocky or anything like that. I feel like it is the latter. Just Nerf Miners finding their groove and finding their way inside of the game. And like I said, I mean, I expected this matchup to be pretty even. Both of these teams have had good wins at the beginning of the season. I can't really say good starts because it's only been like 1 or 2 play days. Well, yeah, you can't say good start, but for them, it's only been like 1 game played between both teams. This is their 2nd game played, and it's going to be against each other. And according to their scores and whatnot, they both look pretty good. Goldinis look really good. They look like they're probably going to claim like 1st or 2nd. And for Nerf Miners, the same can be said about them. But like I said, I just think it's the latter. Nerf Miners, they're in this matchup. You know, when they were 3-0 down, I didn't really think that they would stay 3-0 down or it would get worse from there. I just thought, you know, they maybe needed a few more rounds. As you see, Goldinis, they're already inside of the map. They're wasting no time gaining this map control, and it's none other than Brumbarchi who's leading the charge for his team.
I was just going to say, Nerf Miner have used a bit of utility for the slide behold. They have that reinforcement there, so they basically just wasted the reinforcement there. I mean, giving up that much control to Goldings early into the round, the fact they have long and they have top mezzanine control 2 minutes into the round it's very quick for Goldings to get this, to get map control. I mean, there is one player playing below towards dining area, but I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue, especially as you've got many drones here. I mean, all they need to do now is just watch for these bottom floor players, watch for Joe Bummer, watch for Mouse with a drone, and they can start to work on site. As they know, there's only 2-3 people on site, wouldn't be?
Yeah. I mean, I like the way that Nerf Miners are playing this isn't incorrect. Tobes with a nice little swing onto Brumbarchi, taking out the Sophia. That's a lot of util off the board, as well as a very strong fragging operator off of the board for Goldinis. But again, like I said, this extension from Nerf Miners, they have the Nitro Cell from below. So even if Nerf Miners go for the default, if Goldinis go for a default and Joe Obama is there, and there's really no one to, well, actually there is, well, no, there isn't nobody to stop them because they're not really watching down below. Last Killer is there with the nade kill Cox as well, following that up. So just as fast or just as quickly as Goldinis lose the man advantage, they regain it back with the 4v3. But again, the concern here for Goldinis is most definitely going to be Joe Obama here from below, especially if they don't drone him out. And they don't even have to because Joe Obama just wastes the Nitro Cell, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't get the intel that he needs in order to make that Nitro Cell count. And again, like I said, it's Goldinis with the man advantage. 30 seconds left. The plant has to go down. Smokes are out. It clouds the visions of these defenders as it's not even really in a default plant spot. It's much closer to the wall. The plant goes down. Matto is there. He grabs a second. Cox shuts him down, and there is also Crystal. So it leaves Mouse up in a 1v2 situation, but he isn't quick enough to react to Cox to his right. And it is a attacking round. Well, the first round of this half for Goldinis.
I mean, I think the fact that they played below, but I think they played below wrong. They used the Nitro a bit too early, I think, wouldn't be there. I mean, they did manage to open up all of that sight line for default plan, but as we saw, Goldens just went close on breach and are able to get into such good post plant positions that it's just impossible for Nerf Miners to get back. I mean, Wumbi, what do you think went wrong for Nerf Miner that round? If you had to say anything.
As many bombs as they can.
Just not winning their gunfights. That was a round just of not winning their gunfights. They had the man advantage early on. Like I said, they grabbed Bombarchi, which is like not only like a really good player to kill, but also just takes off a
utility.
it takes off a good operator off of the board. You remove a lot of utility from Sophia, those impact nades, and also the grenades. But it was just when those eventual gunfights did come into their into their like general direction, Nerf miners, it looked like they weren't even really prepared for it. They got smacked. I think that's fair to say. They got smacked.
I think it was like a lot of 1v1s that they took. And obviously if you lose your 1v1s, you've got no one to trade off. They're all playing in different positions. I mean, they got into piano.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was the player on the Flores who just walked into piano and got a 2k that round. I mean, it's these sort of things they need to play off of each other if they're gonna. They need to trade back their kills, and play sort of together more. I mean, for this round though, they need to push. Yeah, they're gonna push into library here, and just take this top floor control because there is a lot of vertical play for this site. That is the one thing I don't like about dining room kitchen is the amount of vertical play that can be happen. I mean, if you've only got Mouse, I think we've only got Mouse up here who's playing top floor with that shield in piano. No, we've also got Castle here, Matto in the master bedroom. But if they lose those two players early, with let's say a minute and a half left, the amount of vertical play, I mean, you've got the Zofia, you've got Thermite who can even open up massive holes for vertical play 1B. It could be a catastrophe on the side of Nerf Miner.
The first player to fall is going to be Joe Bama Cox, carrying that F2 on the Twitch and using it well. Joe Bama is, and oh, sorry, that's Joe Bama was playing Twitch for the Nerf Miners. Sorry, but yeah, Joe Bama is the first one to fall, but Cox again with that F2, like I said, is the first one to grab that kill. Early man advantage goes in favor of Goldinis. As for Nerf Miners, they still are holding on. Well, it's still very early on into this round, so of course they're going to be holding on onto this top board. But for Goldinis, the focus is actually going to be on to this dining room wall. You see the exothermic charge is going to be used, and whether that focus is going to be shifted or still going to be continued on this dining room side, it looks like it is. They have to clear out Tobes, who's playing in his corner, but it looks like they haven't even droned him out correctly. So if Rambarchi charges into this door, he actually might be the first player to fall. Or even if somebody tries to go for a default plant behind the tables, Tobes is going to be absolutely huge here. But for Goldinis, they really need to probably double drone this out in order to get rid of this player. And it looks like Fallen is actually going to do that. But
I mean, if they drone him, it's a free kill.
The smoke grenades go out, and it looks like they want to charge in here again. They don't drone him out again. This is horrific droning from Goldinis. They have 30 seconds left, and they have to fight. They have to drone him out. Please, Goldinis. Here comes a double kill for the side, for both teams. Actually, a kill each going into either team's favor. Goldinis is still in the lead, but for Tobes, he's still in his corner. The plant is going to go down. All Tobes has to do is spray through the corner, and he's not even hitting his shot. The kill goes in favor of Goldinis as the plant goes down. Tobes is lost. Both of these players are lost. Bombarchi has to get this kill. Tobes is on top of the table. I don't even know how they're able to win this round. Nerf Miners, Tobes, what are you doing?
Oh, I was gonna compliment Tobeson on his trigger discipline, but I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Would be that was. I think he was a little too high there. I think he caught the shoulder once. I'm assuming I think in the mind of Tobeson here. Let's get into the mind of Tobeson. He knows he's pushing in, but I think he thought he was planted a bit more away from the bomb chassis, so he missed the bullets. I mean, if he got that kill, that would have been such an easy round for Nerf Miner. I mean, Golden's waited so long to push into that site there. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they lost that. I'm actually stunned. I mean, I want to hear the comms right now, 1B. I mean,
this is the silence of disappointment. I'm kind of disappointed in that.
the amount of shouting that might be going on right now.
He aimed. Yeah, the thing about that is, actually per our producer, he told us he did aim a little bit too high. He just didn't. He didn't aim at him at. It's just the fact that he didn't aim at him at all through the smoke. He was like, he was this close. He was like very close to like hitting him, and he was hitting him. He was actually hitting him too. You could like hear the impact of the gun, the bullets hitting the body or whatever. But like,
it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's one of those plays where we got that same Fossmat, that same Pogmat. Will Mud actually know it's there? I don't think they've droned out the Foss player here. I mean, Tobson could get revenge here. I mean, he messed up last round, but if he gets a nice Fossmat, he could get a free win. They are going to drone it, I think, though, so I don't think that will get a kill. But it would be funny to see 2 Fossmat kills in a game, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be.
Yeah, no. Ooh, first kill goes down in favor of Goldinis. Joe Obama is the first one to fall, and it happened last round as well, where this was the case, and you know how that round went. Oh, a nice little swing though from Matto, taking out Brumbarchi. I mean, a trade for a trade, so a kill each for both of these teams in under a minute. And we have a lot of this round to go. As for Goldinis, the focus seems to be kind of a pinch onto this second floor. You have players near that kennel windows and also that office area as well as the library window. They're looking to pinch these players that are staying on to this fireplace balcony and, well, maybe push them out.
There's 3 people there.
Oh,
Fossmat!
I'm
I swear they droned that!
I don't.
Oh my god.
I think they did drone that. I don't. You know what?
I think they droned it early. I mean, there was a drone going into library. I literally saw the drone in library going in. I don't think Nerf Miner knows that. Mouse could get a kill here. I mean, if they're going for the res, they know he's coming in. I mean, they must know any sort of sound.
Oh,
Cox gets a kill onto Jolin. I mean, he's just walking up here. And somehow, I think Goldins might get away with this. I mean, that's a double kill into this round. We could see an ace. I kind of want to see an ace here. I mean, there's still a minute left of the round, and they have got full live control here. Unfortunately, we won't see that down onto that Foss, which I think we would have wanted there. But I mean, they've got control of library stairs. They've got control of library. They can just sort of push back onto site here. Matto is going to be a key player here. He is peeking out here. I don't think Cox knows where he is. He's going down bottom library here, wouldn't he?
I don't know which direction this round is going to go, because I'm seeing a lot of twists and turns in the past 2 rounds. This might actually go in Goldinis' favors, as they do have this movie main advantage. Cox could grab himself a second. He can't. Toad is there with the nice little refag. The plant has to go down, but Fallen is actually down, and so is the Fuser. Mouse does find a kill for Nerf Miners, as it is theoretically a 1v2 situation. Crystal has the diffuser in hand, the case in his pocket, and he's gonna make the rotation to the other side. He gets 1. Can he find a second? He pulls out the pistol. Mouse is very low on HP. He has to be very careful. He picks up his fallen teammate. Is he not gonna plant the diffuser? He is. So Fallen has to play watch over his teammate's back, and he doesn't. Mouse with the smart little rotate. He wasn't going for the hatch. He baited it. And he goes for the swing instead, and it is an easy 1v2 clutch for Mal.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for Goldins there. They got the res up with 0.5. It was like 5 milliseconds left, 50 milliseconds left on the round. I mean, all they had to do, I mean, I think they made the right decision looking towards hatch. I think in that situation, you kind of expect them to play in hatch, get the easy kill, considering you know they're both on very low health. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, and they just picked the wrong way. But, I mean, it was a very nice play from Mouse to have the game sense, to have the knowledge to rotate instead of pushing towards the hatch. I mean, that won them easily that round. But, I mean, as we said, I mean, there was 30 seconds left on the round, and it was still a 4 versus 4. I mean, it all popped off within 10-15 seconds there. I mean, all around library stairs. I thought the Arda player, I thought Mud was going to he got a 3k that round, didn't he, Bundy?
Yeah.
It was close. I was hoping for the ace.
It was Cox.
It was Cox.
Yeah.
Cox and Diana, definitely, yeah. Getting that 3k. I was kind of hoping in my mind. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that they would get an ace. I mean, it's always exciting to see aces. When you see 3k, when you see multi-kills coming out of any sort of round, it's always exciting to see.
This is interesting, though. I like Look at this lineup. I'm so confused. Okay, we got a Blitz, we have a Ying, and then we also have a Glass. And also
And a Clash.
So Toads is trying to play like your griefer. You see the griefer that you see in like casual or unranked. That type. And then also we have a Tachanka as is highlighted by our amazing observer TPL. So that is interesting to say the least. But for Goldinis, I feel like this lineup is a little bit more interesting. The grenade is actually botched from the get-go as they try and remove some utility off of that garage wall. Exothermic charge is eventually going to be used at some point in time as the Clash is going to be the first player to probably come into contact with this Goldinis push.
Yeah, I mean, the Clash can always sit on the drone hole and sort of prevent any sort of grenade coming in. I mean, they have to burn. They know there's a Jaeger coming out. So they get open this wall here. They can't spend too long here. I mean, there is only the Clash watching here. And I think there is, 4 people pushing this entire site here. They could... Yeah, I think the Clash was literally just brought here to stop the mute jammer getting on. But they do eventually get it here. I mean, wasting a lot of utility. A lot of utility was wasted there. Flashes, smokes, and the gadget on towards Sophia. I think there might be a rush in here. The Yings are going off, but that almost seems like a wasted Ying plan here. As they do have a Chanka. Mouse gets a kill onto Wumbi. It's a 5 versus 4, but all of those Yings are wasted, Wumbi.
Yeah, not good Ying play at all. No really eventual rush coming in from Goldinis, as the first player to fall is going to be the Brumbarchi on that blitz. And it was from Mouse playing on this vertical angle that he established from above, and there's no challenge from the Goldinis player from the Jaeger, who's actually all by himself. So this could be a free pick if somebody were to rotate. But at the moment, no rotate is coming in from those Goldinis players, as they seem content in hanging around this garage wall. The Clash, again, like I said, is going to be the first point of contact for this team, as the rotate does eventually come through. Last killer on the Sophia LMG, not looking to find a kill. Mouse, though, does find one, and it is the Glass as he falls, making this a 5v3 for Nerf Miners. Good play from Mouse to grab 2 kills inside of this round, and could potentially find himself a third or find himself being killed, because he's actually, I think Goldinis are on the hunt for him. 30 seconds left for Goldinis, so they can't really waste much time in hunting for this Jaeger, as again another rotation comes out from this attack. Their plan was foiled at the beginning, and it looks to be that they're gonna try for a more unorthodox rotate, but do they know he's there? No, it's a nice little flank from Last Killer. He finds 2 inside of this round, a double kill for him. He could find himself a third. The Clash is very lucky that she's a thick girl and she can't be falling at this moment. The plant is gonna come down from falling, but the Overwatch is horrific as the planter is down. Last Killer is not able to catch the Tachanka rotating.
You can hear my disappointment there as I went, oh no.
Yeah,
he saw him with like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think he was way too focused on that Clash. He should have said a bit more close to Clash. Yes, it is a risk, but you need to protect the plant, especially in a 1 versus 3. I didn't even call that 1 versus 2 with the Clash. I mean, the Clash is just there as intel at that point, telling them where the Zofia is. And I mean, it was a beautiful execute. You rush around to the planter, and get the easy kill. I mean, it's 5-5. I mean, Goldings won 2 rounds originally on the start of their attack, and now Nerf Rhino have won 2 rounds in a row. This game is going a lot more like, if you win a round, you probably win a couple of rounds in a row, Wumbi. It's not going to be like, it's back and forth. It's more of an interesting back and forth, I would say. I don't like the ones where it goes, we win one, then the other team wins one, and the other team, then say, like, if Nerf Miner wins a round, then Goldings, then Nerf Miner, then Goldings. This one's a bit more unpredictable, and I like that unpredictability.
Yeah, it's, like you said, it's been back and forth, but it's been, like, a
very confusing explanation for me.
Yeah, no. It's been, like you said, it's been back and forth, but it's not been like, they went around, you went around. It hasn't been, like one of those back and forths where it's like you expect this team to win a round, and then you expect the other team to win the next round. It's not that type. It's just kind of like, we grab a few rounds in a row, and you also grab a few rounds in a row. But it's a very close game. I mean, 5-5. This is as close as it can get in minors, because we don't go into overtime. We
always see draws. I don't want to see a draw again.
we're probably gonna see a draw.
I bet Trippin is watching this and dying inside, being like, "Oh, don't be another draw."
I feel like we are gonna get a draw though, because both. I mean, this is probably the most entertaining draw of them all, because both of these teams are too evenly matched. It's not like well, for Goldinis, they did have like a 3-round advantage or a 3-0 lead at the beginning.
Yeah, but then Nerf Miner just comes back with 3 rounds of their own. It's been like that sort of game where it's been like, we don't know. We really don't know as casters and as viewers what's going to happen. I mean, talking about this round now with 2 minutes left, Joe Bomber could get a very nice flank here. If we can identify where Goldins are pushing from, I think definitely if he pushes up trophy stairs here, he might get an amazing flank.
Ooh, but the first kill goes into Goldini's favor. No flank coming in from Joe Bomber as of yet. He does have the nitro slope that he can use from below. This is the same place that he was in the very previous round before this, where Nerf Miners had this very same site, and he was just planting just below there, but he missed the nitro slope at the beginning, so maybe he can rectify his mistake in this round. But for Goldinis, they have that map control, they have that wall open, and they could go for a default plant spot if they're able to clear the necessary angles that are watching them, but they don't really clear the flank. Joe Bama is there to grab last killer, and that sure Ayana down. Her nades are gone, but a nice little restart from Stall reestablishes that man advantage that Goldinis established in the first place. 1 minute and 5 left to go for these attackers as an eventual push and plant has to come at some point. Joe Bama being probably going to be the all-important nitro cell player from below. Did he just pre-place his nitro cell, or did he just
oh no.
I think he just burned his own nitro cell. The plant is gonna go down regardless as the man count is evened out from Mouse. So no nitro cell is going to be used to deny this plant. 2v3 established, or 3v2 man advantage established for Goldinis yet again as they put themselves into the lead. Post plant is clearly in their favor. Mouse desperately trying to get some shots in on a player on the piano window. Joe Bama is well pushing himself into piano, but to no avail to him. Mouse gets himself a nice little headshot of 1v3. But he's making a fight onto Kennels. Can he find himself a kill? Flash is going his way, so the swing might come soon. He's just getting flashbanged. He has no idea what's going on. Actually, this is Crystal flashbanking himself. Fallen, though, is able to get a kill, and it is a round for Goldinis as they put themselves onto match and serious point.
Again, I think he just threw that nitro. Did he throw the nitro, or did he hit pre-place? I think he threw that nitro a bit too early there, if he did throw it. Because, I mean, it's that same sort of mistake again. We have players.
Yeah.
I mean, they saw the entirety of. Yeah, he threw it early. I mean, he had the entirety of the wall open, so they could tell when they were planted because he threw it slightly before they planted.
I thought he had bandits on that wall, and he threw it, and it got shot. Because I saw electricity on that dining room wall, unless I'm wrong. But
I think it was literally right before the plant, though, he threw it. It was like, I think what he was trying to do is, we hear the plant going down, or we hear they're going to push into plant. Do an early nitro, maybe try and get a kill when I rotate back up towards site, you know? I think that was the sort of idea, as the observer's showing us. It was right by dining. Right. I think he was 20 seconds, 30 seconds left in the round. We need to rotate back up to site to stop the plant going down. But yeah, it was either just an unlucky nitro placement or I miss hearing its sound. But I mean, that is Goldings. They have now secured a point at the least. So they at least secured a point here. If they want to do anything, because these guys are both on the same amount of points, 3 each, Goldings are looking to get the 3 points here and go top the leaderboard. But I think, as we said before, this could go any way, Wumby.
Yeah. A lot of pressure on both of these teams. For Goldinis, is a lot of pressure for them to grab the full 3 points. For Nerf Minus, it's just a lot of pressure for them to grab this last round. This is going to be the last round, regardless of which way it goes, in order to claim a tie. Because I feel like both of these teams deserve a tie, but it's not about what you deserve. It's about what you get and how you get it. And if Goldinis grab a 7-5 win, it'll be to their credit that they grabbed the full 3 points against a good team, because both of these teams have been so evenly matched inside of this whole matchup. And, well, so far, after 1 or 2 play days, have been really even with one another, matching each other wink for wink. But, again, a lot of pressure for both of these teams at the moment. It's going to be a very stressful round. Which way it could go, I have no idea, but the first player to actually take a lot of damage, a lot of heat, is going to be Joe Bama. on that Aruni, and I think it was from Bombarchi as well.
Yeah, I think getting a bit too aggressive on the defensive side there. You do have that AR. It does a lot of damage, but you can't get too aggressive with it as you are severely limited on fire rate here. Have they? No, they haven't. They have got flowers this time, so they can get rid of the shield. It's all up to this my player of Matto to prevent the shield coming down. Because for this site, especially on Bard, this shield on top library is a massive pivotal point. You need to get rid of the shield so you can get to library. First kill coming out. That is mouse down. All on getting a kill there. That is your Jaeger gone, and the actual top frag for the side of Nerf Miner. So I mean, quite an early pick as well. I mean, 1 minute 20 left in the round. They do. Yeah, no Frostmat this time.
Oh no,
Useful.
he got one.
Oh no, yeah, Bummy's down.
So did. Jesus Christ. Yep. I mean, that Jaeger kill is actually very huge because it gives them a lot of map control. They remove a player off of those fireplace balcony, and then there goes another Frostmat. I'm done. At this point, just give it up. Joe Obama does finally find the kill. So Brumbarchi and Last Killer are actually going to be knocked down to 25 or 20 HP at this point. They're going to be on flashing red HP. They're going to be one shot because they've already been down inside of this round. And at this point, there's like literally there's no point of return for them. They're just going to be downed, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
They need to sort of get kills here.
I don't know like what's going on. They just both like jump into Frostmats like in sync with one another. That's
three Frostmats this game. Two have been down, but one kill. Ooh, yeah. I mean, they're all on flashing red HP here. I mean, 20 seconds left. It's a 4 versus 3. Make that 3 versus 3. Joe Obama gets a kill. They're going to go for the execute here. Make that 3 versus 1. A double kill. Jordan and Matto getting a kill. It's all up to the Zofia here. And it looks like Nerfline is going to get this win here. Yeah, so some beautiful wallbang there to secure that 6-6 draw. And I think what we were kind of expecting would be, I mean, we saw a lot of them that round were very, very low health. And I think they just needed to get a pick, and they waited way too long to do that execute there, Wumby. And it just fell completely apart for them.
Yeah. Unlucky from both of these teams to not claim if a 3 points or even just they got a point. I mean, that's good enough, I guess, for both of them.
They're on the same points each now.
Yeah, but for Nerf Miners, I mean, they don't get the full 3 points. They were on the match point, and unfortunately for them, they don't get the. But, I mean, I felt like it was way too evenly matched to say that one team deserved to win over another. Like I said, I feel like both teams most definitely did deserve a draw, and that's exactly what they got. 1 point each. Both teams are even in terms of points, so they look to the next few play days that are going to exist for both of these teams in the upcoming weeks and whatnot. But that will do it for us for the minor league. We are going to head into a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with our Major League game.
Looking forward to that Major League game as well. Yeah. Definitely.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the stream. If you were just here for the minor game, that ended in a draw between Goldinis and Nerf Miners. I am 1B if you forgot my name, and this is Pyro if you've forgotten his.
Hi
And
guys.
we are back with our Major League game, Machine Soldiers Academy versus Ultrac Esports. And for both of these teams, two different types of stories. They both have a loss each, but
Hmm.
for Ultrac, it's they lost it while playing the game. For Machine Soldiers, they forfeited their match. So both of these teams have a lot to prove inside of this talent league season so far.
Definitely. I kind of hope for the mentality of both teams. They definitely want to get points this game because I mean, Major is a competitive league, and you need to get as many points as you can early on
Mhm.
to sort of have a chance for later game to have that sort of mental ability to push forward. But I mean, going on to the stat predictions, I mean, we can see it all here 50-50, being pretty standard. They're both on 0 points. They both played well. I mean, we did see the forfeit, so I'm not too sure about all track. So it's yeah, not all track, but machine soldiers. But you know what I mean. It's going to be a close game, a bit like last game. I'm I'm hoping for one of the teams to win. One B.
Hoping, yeah. I mean, we haven't had many draws inside of the major league so far. It's just been only in the minors.
All
But we're
minors.
also gonna bring your attention over to the map vetoes. There is gonna be no new map so far, so we won't see border. We won't see theme park. We won't see
Hmm.
skyscraper. We're going to see Oregon and Chalet, the two probably some of the two most played maps inside of Talent League so far this season. We just saw Chalet in the minor league game, but we're gonna see it again for the major leagues. Both of these teams clearly comfortable playing on these maps. That's why they are picked. That's why they're still here, and that's why
Hmm.
they still survive the ban phase so far. I mean, no
I mean,
surprises. No
I said
surprises.
it in minor league. I didn't want to see Oregon, and what do you know? We're back with Oregon and Chalet. But
Are
I
we gonna
mean, let's
start
get
with
into
Oregon?
the game. Oregon first.
Yeah.
I mean, Machine Soldiers got on defense. I mean, for both the games, Machine Soldiers will start on defense and they'll track on attack, obviously. So
Mm-hmm.
we can at least tell one of these teams prefer to attack or at least defend. But we're going on to the map bans now. I'm expecting a Flores Thatcher ban, and then Cade and Mirror. There's my predictions. Would be.
I feel like it is gonna be a Thatcher or Flores. Those are usually the main two bans. For Thatcher, he's banned on every single map. It doesn't matter if he's good on that map or not. He's going to be the first one to be banned, just
Yeah.
because of just because I guess of
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I don't really know why actually at this point why he's been, and I'm pretty sure a lot of viewers don't know why he's been at this point. Habana is going to be the second ban, so Flores is still on the board. With Flores, you bring so much destructibility to the table and a lot of utility clearance. For Habana, she's mainly used for hatches and hard breaches. You can also use her for the walls, but a lot of people love using her for the basement site and for those hatches. Mira is going to be the first defensive ban, and then also following that up with IE. These two tend to be banned together on this map, so I'm not surprised to
Yeah.
see them both here.
I got 3 out of 4 correct. I mean, I call that a win. The only one I got wrong was that Hibana, which I mean, I would prefer the Maverick ban on this map, especially
Yeah.
for that top floor in Tower. So I mean, I'm not too sure about Hibana ban, but I mean, we roll. They're gonna go to top floor. They're gonna go to kids' dorms first, one B. And I mean, we're gonna see a pretty standard setup here of Rooney, Malusi, Smoke, Jaeger, all and Mute, all players we see for a more default top floor hold. Obviously, that Malusi as more of a sound cue, slowing down defenders, telling you which side they're going to push to. And I mean, Rooney and Jaeger, it's just that sort of denial. And the smoke is for late game, and yeah, mute is for wall denial, as we just saw. So I mean, a pretty default standard setup for the defensive side. I mean,
Like,
SSD Luke.
yeah, Luke has a potato as an SSD or something because we're waiting on him. Stano showing his frustration inside of the chat. Maybe he can show it in his gameplay as well. But I mean, also we talk about lineups. The site choice as well going to be kit storms. Usually that is alternated between I'm so sorry, between kids' dorms or basement. Usually teams would go basement first. Teams would also go kids' dorms first, but it seems for machine soldiers, not academy, like I previously said, they are not an academy. This is just machine soldiers. And so I just wanted to put that out there, but they're gonna start on the season 4. You already mentioned their defensive lineup with the Smoke, the Arumi, and the Mute, and the Malusian Jaeger, all of them. But for the side of Ultrac Esports, I'm already seeing the attacker repick come into play, and this is one thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to attacker repick and what I've seen from T4 EU, especially from Talent League, because this is the only T4 EU that I have. The attacker repick has been used to such a great extent, and it's been very, very effective. And not really how the rounds would play out, but just in terms of how like the attacker win percentages have kind of skewed over towards the attackers and like less from the defenders, especially on like more defender side of maps like Oregon or Clubhouse. And I'm loving the attacker repick so far this season.
I mean, it's almost I used to hate attacker repick at the start. I've come to like it. Yeah, I thought it was going to swing sides too much towards an attacker side in favor, because you can just adapt your entire gameplay to the defensive side. Oh, first pick, Krogel is already down. That's that thinker gone. That's that boost gone. I mean, as I was... Profit! I mean, I can't get any words off here. That's already 2 players down for the side of Ultrac. But I mean, as... Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say, Stano just going absolutely nuclear at the beginning of this round. Ultrac do find some sort of fight back. Izzy with the refrag, but to his team's demise, it's to no avail, because again, they are in such a big man deficit of 4v2. Only only the Ying and the Thermite alive. This doesn't bode well for you. For the Thermite, he still has those exothermic charges in place. He hasn't used a single one. And for Gecko, he still has all 3 of his Candelas. He's going to use one, throw it into Trophy, but the camera is facing right at him. It's a kill for him. A nice one to claim as he slims this down to a 3v2 and retakes up his position inside of Armory. But I don't even know what Stizzy was doing there. Stano, with the game sense, is able to swing on him, and it's Adrian to close out that round for Ultrac. I mean, sorry, Machine Soldiers.
I mean, that was just a free round. What was that? Bedroom. He just doesn't even realize he's in trophy, sitting in that corner and just swings out the Jaeger and gets some free kill there. I mean, it was just Ultrac. I don't know what they were doing that round. I mean, they were trying to push out that player playing in closet, and they just got destroyed. 3 players killed immediately, straight down into a 4 versus 2. I mean, one beat. Beautiful round there for the Machine Soldiers, just clawing out, securing that top floor hold. Now looking to go towards bottom floor.
It doesn't help that also their Finka died within like under a minute, within like the first 10 to 30 seconds. Finka obviously being such a crucial op, especially Anya's attacks, where her, like we always talk about her LMG, but her frag grenades and also her stem boost or whatever you want to call them. For some reason I call them stem boost. I don't know. Her utility, her what do you call it again? But whatever, her utility and what she brings to the board, she's very crucial in shaping out these rounds for attack. She can be the end all be all, and once she's the first one to be picked, your attack suffers greatly. So again, that doesn't really help when Prophet is the first one to fall. I mean, sorry, not Prophet, but Froggle was the first one to fall. And on top of that, your support player and Stizzy is the one getting a kill, and also Gecko. It just doesn't bode well for Ultrac Esports as they head into this round, which is going to be on the basement side of the academy.
I mean, we're gonna see this sort of default push, pushing down into trophy, into tower, I should say. That's a very close shot. They kind of get in, and they just push in. They're straight into rear stage here, and they just have to retreat off. Prophet's going straight down inside. Does he know he's closer to the door? The shotgun doing 50 damage, finally getting the kill, and that is Prophet already out again. The first kill going down for the side of Machine Soldiers. They have taken quite a bit of damage, but I think it was well worth it to get rid of that thinker, as you were saying before. That adrenal surge playing a massive part later on into the round, and that is already gone, already eliminated from the side of Ultrac. I mean, it always is. Stino with a double kill. Gecko and Krogel going down. That is the Yin gone and the Sledge gone. This is already going downwards spiral for the side of Ultrac here. They need to regroup. They need to they need to watch. They need to play teams. They're just getting easy one-on-ones here. I mean, they finally get the Jaeger, but it's immediately traded back for Adrian, and Jaeger isn't even confirmed here. Luke gets a kill onto Soft, so there is one kill, and it's not going to be a flawless round here, but he just gets absolutely demolished. Machine Soldiers are just stomping all over Ultrax here.
It's only 2 rounds that have been played, so Ultrax still have a bunch of this map to go, and like we do have overtime in these best of 2s for the major leagues, unlike how we don't have it in the minor leagues. So Ultrax still have, again, they have a lot to play for Machine Soldiers. The one thing that I did want to talk about was with their lineup a little bit. They have some really good players on their team, but they also did lose some players, which is why they had to forfeit their very first match. They still look like a very good team now, even despite losing the players that they did. They lost Den, who was like, I think their main IGL. They lost, I believe, was it Toucan or Luca? They lost like a lot of their players. Well, I think about like 2 or 3 of them, and so that again, that's why they had to forfeit. But even despite those losses, they look extremely across these 2 rounds. Even though it's only been 2 rounds played, they've looked extremely dominant. But for Ultrac Esports, what needs to be fixed is that if you're gonna play with the Finka and it looks like they're not gonna pick the Finka this round, the Finka has been killed. It doesn't matter if it's Profit or Struggle. The Finka has been the first to die in both of these rounds. It's been 2 rounds in a row that's happened, and you lose such an important fragger. And I'm not only talking about like her gun and her LMG and what she brings to the table in terms of like gun power, but also she has frag grenades, she has her adrenal surges, she also has the Gon 6, which is used to clear a lot of utility, along with the frag grenades, which can be used to clear utility and also get kills. Again, they're going to go with the Finka this time, but we need the Finka to not be the first one to die, or even to be just, I want to see her get the first pick, whether it be Krogel or Prophet, who's alternating on that role.
I mean, yeah, I think the vital thing, as you were saying, is that Finka not to die. I think Ultrac need to slow down here, draw themselves in, and push 2 at a time. Make sure they can get these refrags here. Make sure they have map control and don't get caught off from any sort of peaks and unnecessary peaks here. I was going to say, what is very interesting, they've gone meeting. I prefer a dining kitchen hole instead of a kitchen meeting hole. I don't know what you think about these sides, Wombi, but I mean, they're normally close play, swapping between each sides. But I prefer that other side because obviously small tower is a bit more easier to contest with than big tower.
Yeah, I like the kitchen meeting site, or sorry, yeah, the kitchen meeting site better than the kitchen dining site. I'd rather not have room and also small tower like you would have to do if you're defending a kitchen dining site. For this site, it's just that you have to extend your hold to the top floor. But again, for the kitchen dining site, you have to extend your hold to the top floor, plus extending your hold to the bathroom and also to the tower. It's just a lot of angles to watch out for when you're on the defense and you're defending kitchen dining. The first the Maverick codes being established on that medic wall, as you usually would see if you were if you are playing on the attack or if you're playing on the defense, and there is a Maverick on the board. The first kill is going to go into Ultrac's favor, though. The Finka getting the first kill, and that's what I love to see. Because, again, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's Krogel or Prophet. In those last 2 rounds, the Finka has been the first one to be picked, and they found a cure to that, and that's just to get the first pick on that Finka.
I mean, I don't know whether they're going to open up into Attic. Obviously, Attic has that hatch. I think Gecko is just going to stop. He's just going to wait there, peek through those holes, and prevent Sloth from even trying to deny any sort of plan. As from that meeting hatch, you can see almost all of meeting area deny any sort of late game plan. I mean, we've got 40 seconds left. Beautiful grenade kill onto Asian. And I mean, it's already looking down for Machine Soldiers. It's a 5 versus 3. Make that a 2 versus 5. Luke gets a kill onto Herbie. And the plant's going down here, but I mean, there is one in the split. Never mind, Luke gets a kill onto Sloth, and now it's 1 versus 5. Freeze has it all to do. The plant's finally going down now. I mean, it's all just going to be profit. All Tracks need to do here is just watch angles and prevent any sort of push here from Creeds. I don't even know where you can push it. I mean, every single angle is being covered from the side of Ultrax, and I mean, that's their first round on the board, and it is a flawless round, no mind.
3K as well for Luke on the Twitch as well, taking the initiative to take those gunfights. It was Kroggle to get the first kill into that round, but again, like I said, it was Luke to take the initiative in order to get those 3 frags. I think it was was it a 4K or 3K? I don't know. No, it was a 3K. My fault. Yes, a kill happened elsewhere for one of the other Ultrac players, but for him it is a 3K. Like I said so many times, but yeah, I like the way that they attacked that. You know, again, just it was a default push, but again, the gunfights. This is in the first 2 rounds where we saw Machine Soldier Academy take the win. It was every single time they got into a gunfight with Ultrac, it was almost always you would expect them to win just because Ultrac didn't. Either they didn't have like any trade favors or any like trade value or anything like that, or because they weren't prepared for the gunfights. In that round, it wasn't necessarily that they were playing for the trades. They were more together. So if somebody died, the Ultrac players, the Ultrac esports players would be able to be were able to quickly act on it rather than just sit there and then not be in a position to help their teammates or trade them out in any sort of fashion. But the 4th round is going to be on to this 2nd floor site, and it's going to be the same lineup that we saw in the very first round. And the same thing can be said for Ultrac Esports, as again, for Stizzy, he usually is seen on the Maverick, but he's going to go ahead and pick the Thermite.
I mean, they've still got that same sort of hold in walking. I mean, we've seen it played there before, and they got so many kills on that first round, if you remember. I mean, all they did was play in walking closet and rotate that and just reinforce the closet off after they get some kills. Stino, what a lovely kill onto Korgo, and Korgo is already down. That's that Finka. 3rd time in a row that Finka has been killed. And I mean, that's already the LMG. That's so much utility off the board. Oh, I almost feel bad for Ultrax there. I mean, it's the same sort of peaks that keep happening and happening again. It's that I think it's all based on that walk-in closet position there. When it just takes off so much time on the side of Ultrax. They have to waste so much utility on this hold.
Ooh, oh my god, and he kills his own teammate. That is terrible. Gecko, it's a bot Sinead. I'm guessing it bounced off of the roof, maybe, yeah. Or no, I don't even know where that happened. He's trolling, yeah. He types it in himself. He's trolling, and he kills his own teammate for it. It's a 5v3, but not to any work from Machine Soldiers. Really, the first kill did go in their favor, but that 2nd kill was the result of a team kill. Stano is still playing very aggressively at the bottom of these main stairs, and Luke and Gecko might be the only ones to cut him off. He's gonna go head back up the main stairs just to retreat with his life. But at the moment, no opening kill for Ultrac until now. Gecko takes out Stano, and that's a very big kill because Stano has been an absolute nightmare to have been dealing with for Ultrac Esports. He's been getting the opening kill for, well, not the opening kill, but he's been able to get like 3Ks and 2Ks in the last 4 rounds that have been played. He gets one here, but he does die eventually. It is a 4v3 man advantage still for the side of Machine Soldiers Academy, and what Ultrac Esports need to do here is find a push, figure out where they want to push, and just like go with it, because at the moment they're doing a lot of rotating. Izzy doesn't even have the diffuser. My fault. Actually, he does have the diffuser near him, and he could be an easy kill as well. He's the only hard user left for this site, and he leaves it in the middle of the hallway. Or no, sorry, not in the middle of the hallway. My bad. I got confused by the observer, not the observer, but like the top-down viewer, the first-person view. Luke does finally find another kill, and it is on the Aruni that was in showers. At this point, 15 seconds left for the side of Ultrac Esports. Smoke grenades are going to go out. Freeze is probably going to get into a gunfight with Luke, and he might just as well win it.
No,
Luke doesn't even know he's there. Freeze is able to kill him. Izzy able to find one, but Sloth and Heavy able to close out that round for their team, and it is another round for Machine Soldiers.
I mean, it just all crumbled down to that last 10 seconds. I thought that Aruni wasn't going to be found in showers there. I thought they didn't drone him out. Obviously, he left the diffuser down. The Thermite left the diffuser down outside, so I was like concerned about where they were going to plant, but they walked into Hobo, and with 10 seconds left, you can't drone out. You don't know where any of the players are, and it's just an easy win for Machine Soldiers there. I mean, I think they're just taking way too long. That spawn peak, Steno getting a kill onto Korgel. Again, that Finka being taken out very early on. It almost acts as a demoralization on the side of Ultrax. I think whenever they lose their first flag, I mean, every time they've lost,
Yeah.
they've been killed first, and it's been the same. This has been the same operator, not the same person, but the same operator. So that might be a trend we'll have to look out for.
Yeah, again, like I said, it doesn't matter who's playing on Finka is that type of operator where if anybody plays her, she has such an important role at any point inside of the round. Her adrenal surges helps her so much inside of a gunfight, and not only does she have an LMG, and LMGs are like extremely overpowered to the point where like a lot of the community is saying nerf LMGs. Like I think there's at this point but
It's
I
Nerf
see
or
our
nothing.
observer wants to bring us our attention to something: the hatch being blown up in attic, and
Oh
then also the
no.
hatch being blown up in E-box. So I like this. This looks like a really
SSG roam.
yeah, an SSG roam, but that could be like an important top-down angle being held from attic, maybe up onto that E-box.
I tell you what, I've seen this
Area.
strat a lot of times in the NA scene. They always open this hatch. Always open E-box hatch. I mean, most of the time when you're attacking into meeting, you are gonna get that hatch open. But it does waste utility. But I mean, I don't know I don't know about this strat. I'm still kind of mixed bag on it because obviously if you don't hold attic, you need to hold attic here. But as we can see, there's no one towards attic side. I don't think there's anyone even remotely on the top floor. They're all towards. No, actually, that's a lie. Steno is on top floor. As we just saw, he's around main stairs area. They are draining out attic, but there is one in pit, so Steno is going to be challenged here. Obviously, he's 6-2 at the moment. He has got melee holes. He's going to take up a lot of time for the side of Ultrax. But I mean, if they double push him here, I didn't know he's there. I'm pretty sure they did drain him out. Steno gets a kill onto Korgo, and that is a Korgo down. That is your sledge already gone. He might get another kill here. No, he just does damage onto that ace. Would be. I mean, they drained him out. I mean, what are they doing?
They drone them out, but they don't get the kill onto him. It's just one by. It wasn't really a 1-by-1 push. Stizzy was right next to him as well, and keep in mind that Stizzy is on a hard breach, so he has to be careful, and how he approaches these gunfights because he's the only hard breach. Yes, Ying does have those hard breach utilities, but you only get two, not more than that. Another kill goes in favor of Adrian as Stizzy finds one himself, so he does find Steno eventually. The Jaeger is down, but to like at what cost?
Look at the timer.
You know?
Look
Yeah,
at the timer, I mean.
yeah, like at what cost really? The time. The time is what costed them that.
Look at smoke.
Smoke is in Harry Potter as well. Does Prophet notice? They have to know about this position. That's usually an average position. That's usually like the usual position that like any player will be playing in, whether that be a Jaeger or not even a smoke card that's mute slot in that Harry Potter position, brings out the shotgun. He's gonna get aggressive on the stairs. Can he get the kill? Yes, he can. He gets the Mossberg down and shot. Can he find another? Yes, he can. It's another for Slop, a double. Can he get himself a triple? No. Gecko shuts him down, but he is in a 1v3 situation with 20 seconds left. He's keeping a Yin Candela, but he doesn't really know where he wants to throw him. He throws one, he throws two, he throws all three of them inside of this killer's area, but to no avail because that was just a hopeless charge into the backstage stairs as he was stuck in a helpless situation. And it is another round for Machine Soldiers as they look to probably run away with this.
I mean, I've got 2 points that round, two beautiful plays that round. Obviously, the first one was Steno getting that opening kill onto Krogel. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ultract drones him out. I mean, we are going to get a tactical timeout here, so we can talk more about that round. I mean, Ultract did drone him out. I mean, we saw the drone coming down on Attic, dropping into pillar, and we saw the Jaeger on that pillar side, so on the on pit. So I mean, that was the first thing that I think went wrong from Ultract was not almost focusing on that Jaeger. He know he was close, and we know from the strat they did have, they had the attic hatch open, and they had obviously that electrical hatch open. So I mean, basically, Steno got a free kill that round, and then I mean, the other player I want to talk about 1B is that smoke, is that mute 2K. I mean, he just sits in Harry Potter, pushes aggressive with that Mossberg, gets a free kill, and then pushes up into into T1 there and gets another kill when rotating through the ace hole. I mean, What a play, I may add, from that mute player there.
Yeah, I mean, with the shotgun that you do have, I call it Mossberg. People call it the M59, whatever number
Yeah.
comes after 9 or whatever. But
SAS shotty.
yeah, SAS shoddy, whatever. But like with that shotgun, you are given that confidence to play as aggressively as you can, and Sloth was afforded that confidence. They in such tight corners, especially in those backstage stairs, where in that situation, even if the LMG is in your face, you're probably gonna win out with the shotgun because the shotgun is better in those like
No rate
close
of
range
fire as well.
situation. Yeah, and then again, it was a beautiful play for him. He could have gotten himself a 3K, but for Ultrac Esports, it's I feel like for them it's Steno in that round that kind of screwed them over. He wasted so much of their time, especially with Stizzy since he's the only hard breacher. In that round, I don't really think the hard breach utility would have made much of a difference because the hatches were already popped and they weren't really going for any of the walls in order to make that.
They didn't go for a
push.
blue take today. They didn't go for an elbow take.
No, they didn't at all, and it's just weird. I don't. That push from Ultrac Esports was just, if I can put it into words, was just weird.
The wrong call, I think, for the setup they had. I think that's
Yeah.
a good way of putting it. Just it's a wrong strat.
Especially if you have a sledge, you have your sledge, you have a Finka with nades, you have the ace. If you're gonna bring the ace, you might as well just push into elbow. Maybe use the ace utility to get rid of that shield, or even open up more angles on that e-box. If that wall was, I don't think that wall was reinforced. Sorry, that wall wasn't reinforced. You can use your ace utility to clear out the shield that's in elbow, and also you have nades in your favor. And they just didn't do that. They went for a default push, and they don't have a default lineup for a default push, and that's exactly what screwed them. Again, we see
the observer's getting funky with that frost mats. I mean, for the top floor, they've opened hatch, but they've got no sort of reinforcements. The first kill is on to Luke. That's the Twitch gone. That's the F2 down already. I mean, Ultrac have already got a player down, and I mean, if we're going based off any of the other rounds, it's a spawn peak, T3. Oh, dirty. I mean, that was such a dirty kill there. I mean, as I was saying, if we're going off any other rounds, this looks like to already be a Machine Soldiers round. I mean, I don't want to jinx it too soon, as they can get very aggressive. I mean, you see Steno here on the Jaeger just trolling outside. He's on bus. Steno, they finally get the kill on him. But, I mean, he wasted 10, 15 seconds there. I mean, you're getting a bit too cocky there, Steno. You are the leading fragger on your team. You don't want to be... I don't want Machine Soldiers here to get too aggressive, to get too cocky. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen it in previous seasons where comebacks can come from anywhere, aren't they, Wimby?
This is the thing though about Machine Soldiers that has been a trend with them, because they played in they were the Talent League champions last season. And this is the thing about them. Even with Den, I mentioned Den a couple of times. He's playing in minor league, I believe, with Invictum. With Den, they have like a bunch of characters on this team, and with the characters, it shows in the way that they play to Sloth with a really wild swing. He gets taken out by Prophet. Again, like I said, they love to play these like characters, and for them, it's like being cocky. They love to play mind games and like chat and whatnot. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know. I kind of like this Machine Soldiers team. I've always said that about them, especially when Den was with them, because I felt like they had a lot more character with him in their team. It's this. They're playing the same way that they did now when he was in the team. Heavy gets a kill, so does Gecko, as Ultrac regain their man advantage. It leaves Adrian and Kreese in the 2v3 situation. 35 seconds left for the attackers to make a play, but we've seen Ultrac Esports in this position before, where they've had the man advantage, or they've had like an even man count 3v1. So maybe this is the round that they eventually do win to bring this into a 4-2 half. Prophet is going to get the plant down. They have a player in showers watching for the rotation that Kreese is going to make through the L hallway. Here comes a swing though from Prophet, and he makes it count, and it is finally a round for Ultrac Esports. A 4-2 lead though for Machine Soldiers Academy as they make their way onto the attack.
I mean, if I had to break down that round in, one sentence, would be Machine Soldiers getting too cocky. I mean, that's plain and simple. I mean, Steno outside by bus. I mean, he wasted 10 seconds, yeah. It was like 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 20 into the round, and you've already evened up the man count, especially when you get a spawn peak kill. Especially when Luke gets a kill from a spawn peak. I mean, it's just. I mean, you've got to take your time. You've got 2 games here to play. You want to win the first game. You want to secure at least that point. So you can't be getting too cocky. You can't be getting too overconfident, especially in the first half. Because, I mean, 1B, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. This is an interesting pick though from Krogel. The Thorn coming out in the first time actually today, or I think this is like the second time that I've seen her inside of Talent League. That
I've seen a couple, like once, I think
yeah,
last
like,
week.
Once I think this is the second time that I've seen her in Talent League that I've actually like tuned in to watch the game. A difference that I'm seeing, the Observer is catching our attention again with the hatches. We've seen the hatch be popped up by Machine Soldiers on that E-Box and also Attic facing the E-Box hatch. But this time for Ultrac Esports, if they're playing this in a more default manner, reinforcing that
Safe way,
E-Box
I'd say.
hatch and then not really messing around with the Attic hatch. And it looks like they don't even really want to go for a top 4 extension or top 4 roam. Anything of that sort. Again, they want to really play this in a default manner. The mute being used here as the Forest drones do come out. The Twitch drones being in tandem to remove any mute jammers that are probably in its way. But at the moment, no kills between neither one of these teams. Sloth, though, is in a very aggressive, is already inside of the map, planting himself on those backstage stairs, but also trying to clear out maybe any cameras or anybody that's in his ways, as drones are being used for Machine Soldiers to clear out a lot of these angles and a lot of these positions being held by these Ultrac Esports players. The first kill is going to go in the Machine Soldiers' favor as well. Stano again, I think this is like the 4th round where he's gotten the opening kill, and it's only been 7 rounds to play between both of these teams.
He's definitely a pivotal point for the side of Ultrax. If he gets an open kill, I think it is more likely they are going to win. Obviously, with bottom floor, it's a lot harder to hold. They have got rid of that blue bunker. They have got rid of the elbow shield here, so it is a lot easier to take into elbow. But I mean, they had top floor control within a minute of the round. They're going to start getting hatches open. It'll be interesting to see whether this smoke reinforces. Yes, he's going to reinforce off this blue rotate, which, I mean, he's still got 3 of his gas canisters. Well, I mean, Stizzy's been killed there, and that's the mute already gone. But as I was saying before, he's still got 3 gas canisters, so he could hold on to elbow a lot longer, preventing any sort of quick push from happening, you know?
But now you're smoked now, so he doesn't have any smoke canisters to use. Another kill this time for Adrian, and Krogel is stuck in a helpless situation, and he gets absolutely decimated by Steno, who finds himself with a 2K in this round. And again, like I said, it's 4 rounds that we've seen Steno get the opening kill. He's been a driving force for his team. When he does get that opening kill, it's usually MS who ends up coming out with the wins. Like, that's actually like what I wrote down. So like,
I think
really,
what I've been writing down is if Ultrac don't get the opening kill, they're pretty much lost. I mean, it's only been 1 time that they won a round. 1 out of the 2 rounds that they won, they got didn't get an opening kill. They actually got killed first, and that was the 6th round where Steno just played outside on bus, and they were basically Machine Soldiers controlling. But I mean, last round, if I had to say any sort of criticism for the side of Ultrac, I would say that smoke. With 3 smoke canisters there, you don't have to rotate off blue that quick. I mean, I know the shield's down, but you can still waste so much time. Try and force Machine Soldiers to waste, and maybe even waste a lot of damage, or waste a lot of time trying to take pillar before they even get blue control. So you can force them to push through electrical door, or push through double door, force them into unfavourable gunfights. I mean, that's the only criticism I have of Ultrac that round.
I mean, I don't really know about that. I felt like him backing off of elbow was a good decision for him, especially considering the fact that he does have like 3 smoke canisters. The first kill should be going into Ultrac's way, but it is a missed opportunity from the Wumaya. Adrian is going to join up with Sledge as Sloth takes a lot of damage from that gunfight. Not even really a gunfight. He wasn't looking at him, and that's not even the player that was shooting at him. Stizzy did nothing wrong inside of this round, and he's the first one to die as well. That's the mute down, and that's a nitro cell gone. I think, where was Stizzy? I can't remember where he was. It looks like he was like hunkered down in meeting. You know what? At this point, I don't. It looks like
We'll probably spend like 10 seconds here trying to find his icon.
Yeah, please, thank you, TCO. This is a lot of that. Okay, meeting. It looks
Definitely.
like he was like hunkered down in meeting, and he just got caught.
Just over aggressive, I think.
Yeah.
Just a bit too over aggressive there. And I mean, that's already the mute shotgun gone. Oh no, Steno gets a kill onto Gecko there, and they've got blue control. I thought Lucas saw Steno there. I mean, they've got pillar control. Puffer gets a kill. Steno gets the refrag. That's a double kill for Steno on that round. I mean, he's just walked in blue, just walked in pillar, and Machine Soldiers already have pillar. Steno goes down, Korga gets a and Luke gets a kill onto Creed. It's now a 2 versus 2. I mean, this could go any sort of way. Oh, Korga just misses some of his shots there onto pillar, and they know he's in blue. The grenade's going to come in now, and they're going to get the plant down, hopefully, here. Herbie's going to get the plant down. They know he's in blue, but there's too many angles to watch. He is in pillar. Luke gets the kill onto Sloth. There's now 1v1, but Herbie gets the kill after the plant. And I think good post-plant situational awareness there. Good call-outs to know that he's pushing from Shaiko, and he just gets the easy kill there. I mean, just the pre-fire, walks into that pre-fire and just gets destroyed, basically.
That sucks. That could have been a good start from Otrak as well, because they had like a missed opportunity. I think that was actually, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was somebody on the Wamai, it was like Prophet or whatever. They were on those backstage stairs. They had a freebie in front of them. That was a freebie. He probably should have
Was that
gotten
Steno?
that kill.
Who you should have killed? He walked
No,
in
it
from
was
Shaiko.
It was
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Shaiko. He was like running in from the door that's like next to the backstage stairs. Like
okay, yeah.
The Wamai most definitely should have gotten that kill. It was a missed opportunity for him. And had they gotten that kill, Slop wouldn't have gotten the PK that he got, and he wouldn't have killed Stizzy, and he probably wouldn't have gotten a second kill to help his team win out that round, because to be honest with you, Slop did get, like, he got some really nice, he only got like a 2k in that round, but those 2 kills are probably some of the most impactful kills that Machine Soldiers could have gotten in that round, and it came through him as well. So again, had he died very early on like he should have, that could have been an Otrak round, but it wasn't, because he stayed alive and he was able to get those 2 kills.
I mean, yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up there. I mean, it was a good round. It was just a bit of unfortunateness there. I mean, going on to this round, I mean, we've got a pretty default setup. They have, instead of opening the left side wall, they have chosen to open up the right side wall with head holes into attic. I mean, as you can see there, because they are playing the shield. So they're doing a very, very heavy trophy hold here. I mean, it's going to be very hard to push into master bedroom. Steno gets another opening kill onto Stizzy. That's twice. This is now the second round that Stizzy has died. The first frag here, and I mean, opening kill. That is on tower. Yeah. Smoke's already down. That's already post-plant situation. That's already 3 gas canisters gone. That can deny any sort of defusal now.
That's horrible. That's actually horrible. That's not even like, he didn't really do any smoke plays that were horrible. That was just horrible, like, irresponsibility from Stizzy to die so early on the smoke there. Another kill follows up from Machine Soldiers. Gecko is now dead as well, so you lose those rechargeable Wamai discs that he does have in his pocket. And he could, like, waste a lot of time with burning that utility with those Wamai discs. Prophet does find a final trade, or a trade finally on it to Kreese as Kreese dies. So, I mean, he does remove a good operator off of the board, and Flores. Adrian also is able to fell someone. So they already had that man advantage when Prophet got that kill.
I mean, they're pushing from 3 sides.
Further. They're pushing from 3 sides, but I mean, this is actually a good push from Machine Soldiers. Another kill goes into their favor, and Steno ends off this map with a frag from the big window, and it's a Machine Soldiers win, and it's a 7-2 at that. So this was a pretty dominating win. It was clear who the winners would be from the get-go, and they win it in fashion, and it's on Oregon as well. I think this is their map pick, so it is expected, but it shouldn't have been this.
I mean, 7-2 is pretty dominant. I mean, Steno 14-5. I mean, I think how many rounds did he get the opening kill? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 at least. He got the opening kill on 5 rounds out of 9. So that's more than half the rounds that Steno has got that opening kill on. I mean, his entry KD is just out there. I mean, Steno massively popping off that game, and I think a massive reason why Machine Soldiers won that round, won that game, will be.
Yeah. Just a lot of talking points that we could talk about in a minute because we are gonna head into a break, and when we come back, we will head into our second map, which is Chalet. We will see it 2 times today, 2 times in a row, back to back. But like I said, I will bid you adieu for 5 minutes as we head into our break. So guys, welcome back to Major League. We had our minor league game before this, but we are in process of our Major League game, which is between Machine Soldiers, not the academy, but the actual team, Machine Soldiers versus Ultrac Esports. I'm 1B, joined by my co-caster here for Pyro, and we've already just played through the first map, so if you've missed it, no need, I can kind of summarize it for you. Basically, in short, Machine Soldiers absolutely decimated Ultrac Esports. Not like 7-0, just a 7-2 scoreline.
7-2. It's 2 rounds off. It should have been 7-1. Let's be fair. They trolled in round 6.
Yeah, they did.
We know it. Everyone in the chat, you know.
But they did grab that first map win, which is very important for them because, again, like I said before this match even started, they had to forfeit their last match due to not having enough players registered when the play day came around, so they had to forfeit it, and now they're here with their full team, their full roster, and they look on fire. They look absolutely amazing.
They're trying to get that round difference back up, as obviously they forfeited, so it's minus 14.
Yeah.
I'd expect them to try and go for a 7-0, 7-2, 7-1 here, and try and force that round difference to go back up towards near the positive side. As if you're on the same point, which will most likely happen in those top 1 to 4 places, you kind of want the round difference to matter. So starting off with a forfeit, it wasn't ideal for Machine Soldiers, but they're definitely bringing it back this game. And I mean, last game, Steno, what can I just say? 14-5 from Steno that game. Just a god on the side of Machine Soldiers. And I mean, the rest of Machine Soldiers played really, really well. Not to put him down or anything, but Steno just steals the show there, I think.
Yeah, he got the opening kill, I think, in the 9 rounds that were played all together. I think he got the opening kill about 4 or 5 times. I think
it's 4 or 5 times, yeah.
4 or 5 times, and each time he got the opening kill, his team won around. So that's how impactful he was. 14 frags, a lot of people may think of that as stat padding, depending on how your team has won. But for Steno, all of those kills were very, very important, and they were very, very round decisive as well. So an impact fragger, to say the least. And
definitely
just a really good map from him overall. But as we head into Chalet, before we head into Chalet...
Chalet again.
With the way that Machine Soldiers played that map, I feel like it is probably going to be more in their favor because I think we said it before with Chalet. Chalet tends to be a more frag-heavy map. And with Machine Soldiers, they've shown that they're more than capable of playing into that game style. They have a lot of good fraggers on their team, like we talked about Steno. They also have Sloth as well as Luke. Not Luke, sorry, but they have Sloth as well, who has gotten a few kills inside of those rounds, as well as Kreese, who has had some pretty impactful frags as well. So all of those players, if they're able to repeat what they did on Oregon, it could translate really, really well on Chalet. As the first bans do come out on Chalet, the Thatcher is going to be the first one to start us off. No surprise there. And as for our second ban, we got 5 seconds, and I think it'll probably be a Flores.
Thinker. Oh. Yeah, Flores is a pretty simple ban there. I mean, getting rid of that shield on piano, all sort of utility. I mean, we will want to see from the side of Machine Soldiers here. I think a mute being played. For band wise, Cade, Mirror. Oh no, what am I? I think they're definitely going to be wanting to prevent any sort of grenade players. Obviously, when you're defending bar gaming, that shield on top of jungle is a massive play. And I mean, getting Wamai off that board just eliminates any sort of extra defense that shield has. Mirror, yes, that's a good pick. I mean, there's plenty of places that Mirror can go. It's not as useful as on some of the as some of the other maps, but I mean, Cade is still on the board. That's an important thing. Expect bottom floor to be played. I mean, you can't really get any hatches. I mean, the mezzanine double wall on top floor, that's going to be catered off now. So you're going to have to go below and force the. I think from the defending side, you're looking to force the attackers below into lobby. As I mean, you're going to have to try and get that cade somehow. And I mean, they're not playing an IQ. I mean, yeah, they're playing mute, but I would expect maybe an attacker repick onto an IQ here would be.
Yeah,
I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
this is like the ban phase is pretty interesting as well. I feel like we could talk a little bit about that before I actually talk about whether or not they're going to use the attacker repick in order to go into the IQ. I highly doubt it because Haikyuu doesn't see a lot of play inside of top play just for very obvious reasons. She does have like a good utility. She does have like a good utility with her, like I call it like her little wristwatches, just the whatever you want to call it. Her like little electronic detector where she can detect things from below. She can detect it from like from like long range as well, and all of that stuff. But she doesn't really have anything in her kit that can clear utility apart from like a very crappy pistol. That
I mean,
doesn't
most
really
of it is
do a lot in terms of like
soft, though.
penetration through like floors and stuff. And like yeah, you can like shoot through floors, you can shoot through walls in order to clear utility. But again, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't really. Most of the times, it doesn't really work out when you're only using the pistol to clear out that utility. She doesn't have any. She doesn't have anything partnered with her special ability in order to clear out the utility that's gonna be in the attacker's way. You know, she doesn't have frag grenade. She doesn't have the Gon 6. And that's why we don't see the IQ being picked from Ultra, just because she doesn't see a lot of play in comp play, and it is for a good reason.
I mean, I think it's more seen when you have that Valkyrie pick.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly when it is seen. Adrian might be stuck here. He is going to push up and try and get the kill onto Korko. Korko does get that kill onto Adrian. That's only a man down inside Machine Soldiers. Zeno gets the reflag, but he gets it onto Prophet. So, I mean, we're back to 4-4 here, 1B. I mean, Mute's gone, and the Sophia, I think this is more of a loss on the side of Ultrax here. I mean, Sophia has so much utility. I mean, we talked about it last game. Concussions, impacts, and I mean, at LMG most importantly. So definitely a loss on the side of Ultrax for that engagement there would be.
Yeah, I mean, also for Machine Soldiers, like it is. I feel like it is a pretty big loss. I mean, you lose a body, but also you lose a nitro cell, and for this site, nitro cells tend to be very important, especially if teams are going for a default position. For Ultrac, that's exactly what they're going to be looking for. Luke grabs Steno. That's the Jaeger down. That's the all-important player down. That was probably our MVP for the last map. Krogel does find a follow-up on the Sloth, I believe, now making this a 2v4 situation for the side of Machine Soldiers Academy. They only have 2 players alive. Like I said, Kreese and Heavy in this predicament. A drone is going to catch out Kreese. He has some struggles shooting it. He's going to push himself further into Piano. But at the moment, no gunfire is rained towards him. He finds some protection behind the half wall that separates Piano from the bathroom area. And for Heavy, he does have 3 smokes left in his arsenal. He's going to use 1 and knock himself down to 2. And that's actually going to do a lot of damage towards Stizzy, who was trying to get himself inside of a default plant spot. Another smoke goes out to block off Luke from entering into the Piano. Mainly what these smoke grenades are going to do is just waste a lot of time for the attackers. Stizzy is going to push up so far inside of the site action, not even going for a default plant spot like one may expect. He's going to push himself up into couch. Heavy's going to have to expose himself, but in unison, it's actually a kill each for both Luke and I believe, I don't even know who got that other kill, but I know that Luke was one of them, and it is a very good round for Ultrac to claim in Chalet.
I mean, I think as he was saying there, I mean, not going in for that default plant, I mean, that was the main thing. They realized that smoke can get that long angle, especially when you have a thinker. Because I think a lot of people do know it now, but if you thinker boost when you're in a smoke canister, it actually does more damage. So you have to be careful as a thinker player that you don't boost your teammates while they're when they're in the smoke, because it just does a lot more extra damage and it can actually lose you that round. So the ability for the support player on the side of Ultrax to push him very close, I think it was Stizzy on the Maverick, was it, who pushed it all the way, like right by the couches on near that A bomb. Yeah, and he literally, it just sort of keeps Machine Soldiers guessing and forcing them to push out. And I mean, from that push out, when they pushed into Piano, they just got an easy double kill there, would be.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a nice little default push from Ultrac Esports. Not really in like with the way they use their utility and the way that they formed their formation around the site. Obviously, Luke was a pretty big factor in how that round went their way, as well as Kroggle. Gecko did get a kill, but for Ultra Esports, it was mainly Kroggle and Luke were very important. Obviously, Kroggle getting the opening kill inside of that round, and for Luke grabbing a really good 2K to put that round to bed for Ultra Esports. But again, for Machine Soldiers, they're going to go back to the second floor site. The second time in a row where we will see the site yet again. Like I said, I think I said this before in the very first map, but like for me, I've seen a lot more Master Bedroom Office recently in comp play. The first few gun fights are going to go, I think, between both. I think that was Prophet and Kreese. Kreese does get himself back up to full HP, and for Kroggle, he's going to stay in the HP he's at the moment, despite boosting his health back up with the Adrenal Surge.
I mean, he won't get back to full health at this point,
Yeah.
so it's definitely going to be a massive disadvantage. He can't use it all the time because his teammates can also take a lot more damage, so he kind of has to save it until more of a late round push here. He is going to drone in, and I mean, I think Krogel here just needs to rotate back to his team. His team have got mezzanine control, have got the control they need to start opening up site here. And I think the only thing that's missing for the side of Ultrax here is just that first initial pick. Get that pick. Make sure you don't get flanked from living room. You can see two people there just on the outline are in living room. So, I mean, it's the same as the minor game. Teams are more forced to play under from below. I mean, you've got the Nitro with both of those actually have Nitros. So it's a massive thing in this side of your strategy for an IGL here. I mean, you need to think, we're going to push in for a plant here. We've got the map, we're going to make a hole. But we have to be careful of these Nitros that could come out from Machine Soldiers here.
Yeah. See exactly what Ultra Esports played. They made themselves a crouch hole. The Nitro Soul pops prematurely as it doesn't catch nobody because nobody was there. Luke is going to plant himself into candles, probably watching the rotates that have been made in between both the office and master bedroom sites. Dizzy's gonna try and charge into the site, but the smoke canisters are going to be in his way. Heavy with the Mossberg does a wild swing onto Prophet, and Prophet catches onto it. He does take a lot of damage from it, but he's able to get the kill. Another kill goes into Ultrax's way as Luke Prophet light up the scoreboard. Stizzy charging into the site with the fuser dies, and Steno grabs another, so that's the fuser down. Steno finally falls. Nitro Soul goes out, but it doesn't get anybody. Adrian finds one, and that's the fuser down yet again. Are they able to kill this player? Adrian still below with no Nitro Soul. The fuser's gonna go down. He almost didn't get that defusal down. The rotate is gonna come in from Adrian as well. Luke reads into it. The plant finally goes down from Ultra Esports, as they are probably going to escape with this round by the skin of their teeth. There goes Luke, and there goes Adrian to fall, and it is another round for Ultra Esports.
I was getting so worried. I think that was literally milliseconds off there. I mean, it was a very good idea. You know that Adrian has that shotgun below. You know that he can sort of shoot. So the idea to get on that bed was a risky, but it played off very well for the side of Ultra. I mean, they're 2-0 up now. Steno getting a 2K for the side of Machine Soldiers. It didn't pay off as well, as he did get fragged. But Adrian, I mean, it was a good thought. I think if he waited a bit longer on that plant, he would have forced them to plant on their A-bomb towards near couches. I mean, he was going back for that same sort of plan they did last round at the backside of couches. So, I mean, it could have worked for the side of Machine Soldiers there if they just played out a little bit more time, be a bit more careful. But obviously, as it goes later into a round, there's a lot more pressure, a lot more stress, especially with 5 seconds left on the round. But, I mean, they've gone to the bottom floor here. They've gone to kitchen, dining. I mean, we saw it in the minor game quite a lot. It's a very good site. I only have one issue with this site, though. It's the fact that it's so much vertical. Practically the entirety of the map, you can see it right now, is all soft. It's all soft destruction. So you need to, from the side of Machine Soldiers here, play top floor. I mean, as the server's shown, there is so much room, so much space for you as a sledge player. They have book actually for this one to open up. I mean, 1B, I think we're going to see a top floor to push here. I mean, they've got to.
This is the thing though about this site. You usually don't see defenders pick this site without having a top 4 extension. If you go to the kitchen dining site and you don't have a top 4 extension, do not ever run that site again because you need a top 4 extension for your defense in order for this site to work. And for machine soldiers, they're not going to run this site without that top 4 extension. But I mean, the top 4, like you said, it can be a bit difficult to hold on to this top 4. And for machine soldiers, it might just as well be Ultrac. For Ultrac, I feel like I haven't said this before. Ultrac loves Chalet, and they know how to play this map inside and out. For machine soldiers, they have played this map quite a bit in the past, but Ultrac Esports, this is probably one of their better maps, and so that's why you see them at such a good round advantage at the moment, especially with the way that they're winning these rounds.
I mean, Luke.
Yeah.
5-0.
Luke is 5-0. We didn't see that on Oregon neither from Luke. Luke had his moments, but we didn't see that from Oregon, and it shows how like this map is clearly in Ultrac's favor. Thano is gonna take some, not even really chip damage, a lot of damage from some gunfire. I think from a player probably playing on the roof. I'm not too sure where that was.
It was. I think it was from Luke or some sort of top floor pusher.
Luke, yep, it was most definitely.
Yeah, it was
Prophet.
No, Prophet. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
It's tough to play around this top floor. I mean, it is only Steno on top floor, so they have got Hatch open here, and they can start to lay down so much vertical pressure, as we said from above. I mean, Buck is already doing so much damage to the floor that machine soldiers have nowhere to go. Corker gets a kill onto Sloth, and I mean, that's your Malusi gone. Not a big issue here. But, I mean, it's going to start coming down. I mean, there's 45 seconds left. The Executor will be coming in the next sort of 10-15 seconds here. Set up the vertical play. Push down Solarium stairs. And just choke. Just choke machine soldiers here. They leave 2 people up top. They push down below. I mean, they're coming to West Main now. You've got Agent here with the shotgun on West Main. And Korgo just gets that kill. He gets a double kill! Oh my god, Korgo's popping off with that triple kill. Could we get an ace here? I mean, there's 23 seconds left in the round. There's a massive advantage on the side of Ultrac here. Make that 1v4. Gecko gets a kill on Steno. That's a trade. Luke kills Korgo, stopping... I think that was just an accidental maybe. Creed's with this Echo though. This could be very massive. If Echo manages to stop this diffuser, he could get this round, but he's choosing to go for the gunfight, which is not ideal. Yeah, I mean, Ultrac, yeah. I mean, it's already over. I mean, did he not have any Echo drones?
I don't think so. I feel like in that situation, especially with time being as low as it was, if he did have Echo drones on the site to aid him, he would have most definitely got onto it. I refuse to believe that he wouldn't have gotten on his drones, and with like 10 seconds left to go, maybe I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't think he had any drones in sight. No, I don't think.
No, I think he went on his drone and it just automatically went off. So I think he didn't have any drones there, and I mean, definitely if he had a drone there, if he had that Echo drone, that could have been a completely different round. But Ultracs are just, they took top floor dominance. Korgo with that triple kill with the Thinker. I mean, he got the initial first pick, and then just dominate, getting the kill onto West Main. As he said, he pushed down to West Main, rotates around. He knows that the smoke of Aegean was playing there, and I mean, it's just a free kill, and he just got very lucky with that player pushing through Library to get the double kill, and I mean, that just set up the round. Three men down, and the machine soldiers are already in that round. Do you know what's really playing on my mind would be? I mean, if any of the viewers didn't watch the earlier Miner game, we had a similar situation with, who was it who was 3-0 up at the start? I think it was Miner. He was 3-0 up. Yeah. And then we just had the other team absolutely pop off and get 3 rounds in a row. So maybe this could be a similar game where it just takes machine soldiers a bit of time to get into the game, to get the ball rolling. I hope it's one of those games and not similar to what we saw last game on Oregon.
Yeah, we do head into this 4th round. Ultrac Esports 3 rounds up, 3-0, 3-0. A lot of Europeans love to say nil. I say nil a lot too. I remember.
Yeah, 3-0.
You know, I have a story. I used to play. I know a lot of Europeans like to call it football. In America we call it soccer.
No, stop it right now. Stop
Okay.
it right now.
You know, I used to play.
Do not
sports,
call the
right?
S word.
No. Listen, Kreese takes a lot of damage early on, but like I said, I used to play sports, right? And I used to like commentate a lot, like whenever I was on the bench or whatever. And I'd be like, oh yeah, like we're it's still 0-0 and stuff like that. And everybody was like, why are you saying that? Are you European? I'm like, no, I'm Gerald. Anyways, Kreese takes a lot of damage from whomever that was. Stano is going to be the first to fall. Luke now 6-0 inside of this matchup again. Like I said, we didn't see Luke do this much on Oregon, and I think it was more or less because Oregon was MS's map picking. It's their map, and Chalet is a little bit favored more towards Utrecht since they have a lot of experience on it. And for Luke, this is a map that he's clearly comfortable on, and it shows on the scoreboard. He does take a lot of damage from a swing of the Mossberg from, I believe that was Ebby in office, but at the moment the man advantage is in Utrecht's favor right now, but only by 1 man. So Utrecht Machine Soldiers could easily find their way back into the...
I mean, it could go any way at this point. I mean, Utrecht don't have the control they need yet. They haven't got lively. I mean, that's just unfortunate time. Adrian getting killed onto Stizzy, but Kroger getting a trade back onto Adrian. I mean, that's a 1-for-1 trade here. Machine Shoulders are looking in a very poor positioning. I mean, 2 of their players are very low health, but I mean, as we said, there's no sort of control. He gets the kill onto Luke, and I mean, it's already pushing around. Utrecht are now in a 3 versus 2. They're a man down all of a sudden. What's going on? Make that 2 men down. Herbie gets a kill into Kroger. I mean, Sneak has to push into life here. I don't know what he's going to do. He gets a kill onto Greed, and I mean, that's a refragger back, and he has got control here. But both the players are on site. The fuse is down in sight. I don't know what's going to happen. He hits the alibi, and that just gives away his position. And the Malusi just wraps it up there. We see the other player just behind that bomb chassis. So anyway, I think that would have been, he wouldn't be able to clutch that there, would he?
Yeah, I felt like Utrecht just took too long figuring out what they wanted to do. They got the first pick going into their favor again. Like I said, I praised Luke for doing a lot better on this map than he did on the previous map because it looks like he's more comfortable on it. But in that round, Utrecht didn't look comfortable at all. It was the opposite of what we've seen from the 3 rounds that they won in a row, where they were taking map control very easily. They were getting the picks that they wanted because MS were allowing them to get the picks that they wanted. But in that round alone, they got the first pick, but then after that, like I said, they seemed to like be stagnant. They sort of stayed still, and they didn't get any map control off of that first kill neither. So again, like I said, just a bit too slow from Utrecht Esports and Machine Soldiers. All they did was just wait, and Utrecht just charged into their line of sight, and that's exactly how they died. Now we're going into kitchen dining for our 5th round, and this could potentially end up with a 4-1 scoreline for Utrecht Esports, or even a 3-2 for Machine Soldiers, where they could potentially put themselves on 3-3-5.5.
I think it was such a dominant performance from Utrecht last time. I mean, the amount of vertical and how quick they got their vertical last time, I think it all depends on how quick they get map control, wouldn't be?
Yeah.
I think that is literally the key point for this, especially for this site. Getting that top floor control is such a massive part of this round. I mean, Machine Soldiers only had 1 player, and that was Steno on the top floor. I mean, Adrian's already gone off the board, Machine Soldiers have already lost a man, and that's your mute. That's a shotgun and SMG gone. Herbie gets a kill onto Gecko, so I mean, that's a refrag back on, so it is even man count back up again. So, not a big loss, but I mean, you're not fighting for any sort of positioning here. You're not fighting for map control on the side of Utrecht. I mean, that was just a free pick.
Yeah, this map is a bit odd, and I'm saying this for Machine Soldiers because on Oregon we've seen the first kills kind of alternate between multiple different players on Machine Soldiers, and then we saw like Utrecht able to interrupt the first kill feed and get the opening kill a few times himself. For the first 5 rounds, or at least in the 5 rounds that are being played with the 5th round being played now, Machine Soldiers have not gotten the opening kill not once inside of this matchup. Prago That's not even a botch. He just screwed himself over with his own.
I think that was the second. I mean, that's in the previous game. Ultrax did also get a TK, so that's now the second TK in this matchup here. Stacey just jumps in. He just jumps into Trophy, gets a kill, and he had Diffuser. He gets a pick, but I mean, Steno's got Diffuser down into Trophy. Steno gets a double kill down to Profit. I mean, it's all up to Luke here. Can Steno finish off the 3k here? Luke's got Diffuser down. There's a smoke playing close with that shotgun. Smoke's going to swing with the SMG. Not managing to get any sort of damage here. He's just going to smoke off the board. And I mean, Diffuser's down in such a poor position there. I mean, Luke has to go for frags here. He's going to rotate. That's unfortunate. He can't get the silent jump in here. He's going to push up West Main, which I think there is holes into Trophy, which can hold West Main. Yeah, the can's been shot here. You can see the outlines just barely. The smoke's going to swing with the SMG and get the kill onto Luke. And I mean, that is the round for Machine Soldiers. And I mean, it's starting to look a bit like the minor game here, wouldn't be?
Yeah.
We're going to have a repeat. Go back to 3-3.
Yeah, I don't. Ultrac, again, like I said, they're getting the opening kills. Machine Soldiers have yet to get an opening kills inside of any of these rounds. And they're still winning. They've still won 2 rounds, and this is still a remarkably close game. But that's not to, like, say, oh, well, Machine Soldiers, like, absolutely rolled over Ultrac in that round. That was just, the last 2 rounds that Ultrac have lost have just been, I feel like, throws. And you could, like, talk about how, well, not really the round before, the one that they just lost. That wasn't really a throw, it's just them just taking too long, which any team is gonna, a lot of teams will do that. They'll get the first pick and they'll just kind of stand still and not the rest of it. For that round, Froggle killed himself with his own nade despite being the one to get the opening kill. And then Stizzy is jumping into Trophy with the Diffuser. Nobody is there. Nobody is there for any trade value. He did get a kill, but he drops Diffuser in the middle of a room that's in control of the defenders. That's not.
And it is such a pivotal room as well, because it's literally one wall away from the site, and they have so many holes open into Trophy that even going anywhere near Trophy, if it's not from Trophy stairs, is a death sentence. And I mean, can I bring your attention? I mean, I just read the chat, and I mean, Profit on the Zofia is using the AR, would be.
Yeah. No. I've seen him use the AR. I didn't bring any attention to it because he loves using the AR over the LMG.
I mean,
and
I prefer the LMG.
Everybody prefers.
I mean, look at that recoil control. It's a bit. I mean, and the angle grip. There was a change with the angle grip, wasn't it? It doesn't make that much of a difference to ADS time anymore. So I don't know why he's running angle grip. He should run foregrip, especially with the AR. It's got such a massive vertical recoil that
I mean,
it's.
To be fair, I've seen him like kill a lot of players. Look, watch, he'll get a kill right now. Look, he'll
You want to bet on that? We're gonna bet on that, aren't we?
Nah, look, he'll get a look. He's gotten 3 kills. He's gotten 3 kills with that AR, and you can't tell him nothing. Okay, he didn't get a kill because he got Nitro from below with Adrian. A beautiful Nitro soul from the mute inside of closet. Look, to be fair, he didn't even get into a gunfight. So
he shot at someone.
He shot at someone.
You were shooting through a wall that's near someone. That's technically a gunfight. I mean, that's a Sophie off the board. I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, that's a lot of utility there. So a big loss for the side of Ultrac. And I mean, they're pushing into library here, but there is one player in library closet and towards jungle, which could be a massive issue.
Yeah,
no, he's not actually in closet. He's back onto piano. So they have given up library control and mezzanine control. I mean, we saw from the previous round when Machine Soldiers went up to this top floor, they have the nitro cells below. They have that all crucial Thunderbird with that one nitro. What's interesting is Mute's nitro has been used. I don't know if it's been used or it's been pre-placed. Oh no, it was used because he got the kill. What am I doing? I've got dementia.
No, and a thing to note as well. I've said it. Machine Soldiers haven't gotten an opening kill inside of this match so far, and they finally get it through Adrian with the Nitro Soul. But for Ultrac Esports, look at the time, 30 seconds left, and they haven't even gotten himself a pick. Creeds makes it worse. He absolutely decimates Luke from range with the MP5K. And it makes this main advantage for MS so much stronger. Swing from Heavy gets a kill, but he gets immediately traded by Gecko. Izzy's taken away from the smoke grenade. Gecko's finally down inside of Library. Izzy's still hanging by his own holes. And Kreese peeks him from range through his holes. And he's able to get that final kill. And MS finally find the tie. But for the majority of this matchup, Ultrac have been, or this map, Ultrac have most definitely been in the lead for most of this map so far. And so for Machine Soldiers, this first attack at ground is an opportunity for them to grab their first lead of the game. Or map.
Okay, one player that round made it for me. Creeds. Oh my god, that first initial long shot onto highway was such a good kill. Near the library window, he was all the way by double window in master bedroom. I mean, with that MP5 is such a good gun, but with that hollow, that is such a hard shot to make. I mean, especially when you're under fire from main breach, it is. I mean, I'm envious of his aim there. I mean, what a shot. And to then get the kill through the Maverick hole at the same time. Oh, that was such a nice view to see, and such a nice kills there. And I mean, I hope he can take it on to this attacking round, Robbie. I mean, who is he playing? He's playing Osa with the PDW, I'm assuming. I mean, they've got Osa, they've got Thinker, they've got Ace, Twitch, and Sledge, which is a pretty default site. A pretty default swap up here for top floor. Well, I mean, they're on middle floor here. Wait. I've just seen something. In master bedroom, they've opened up the hatch. So the hatch that goes straight into site, Ultrac have opened up. Wumby. I mean, what are the issues with that hatch? Or why do you think they've made that decision call there for that strike? So, do you know the hatch in master bedroom?
Oh, master bedroom. I don't think there's any disadvantage to opening the hatch. Usually teams, if they're going for a top floor exclusive or a top floor extension, they open that hatch up in bedroom, especially for this site, just so that if they are going to play site, they have like a quick way to rotate. Usually, like, they'll rotate through Solarium stairs, but maybe if Solarium isn't an option, maybe if somebody's holding the Solarium windows, or maybe if somebody's holding the Solarium stairs, or the bottom of the Solarium stairs through the trophy windows, then they have a way to rotate out of that, out of kitchen, or out of that top floor hole into kitchen through the hatch, and that way they have bodies on site. They can maybe rotate from kitchen into other places, maybe back into dining, maybe to the west side of the map. So I have no problem with them opening that hatch, because usually that's what teams like to do. They don't want to, sometimes teams will reinforce it, sometimes they will open it up, or even...
I think it's more of a death hold if you open that hatch. Yeah. Because you wanna play that hatch. Normally, I would say reinforce it, because then you can easily fall off. But obviously, if they do pincer them, it is a nice sort of way to get back onto site. And you can use it to stop close plant, especially when we got the side machine shoulders here. Already opening main wall with 1 minute 30 left into the round. They've used ace charges to get open up the wall into this top floor, and they've also opened bottom floor. So they could literally ignore master bedroom here, try and just hold off Prophet and Krogel, and go for a quick plant. I mean, I think that might happen one day. They might go for a breach here and go for a quick plant. I mean, there's no kills, and there's the minute left in the round.
This is kind of odd to see the way that Machine Soldiers are pushing this. They have a sledge, they could make some vertical angles from below, but they're going to go for a default plant. The rotate is going to happen from Gecko all the way to the main stairs. So are they actually going to pay attention to this? The plant does go down. Adrian reads into that perfectly. He grabs Gecko. Krogel does find himself a kill, as I mentioned his name prematurely. Prophet as well. Krogel is down on the floor, but he's picked back up by the castle, but only to 25 HP. 25 seconds is left for these defenders to retake their own site. It's a flick from Prophet onto his own teammate. Krogel is down. Adrian finds Luke, and the last kill goes to Kreese as Machine Soldiers find the lead finally inside of this map so far.
That's the second TK this game, third in this series. I mean, that was more of a misunderstanding for the flick. I think just a bit unlucky on the shots there. I mean, he was already low, and Prophet's just getting lucky there. But I mean, that hatch did help him in the end, because as I said, I mean, I pretty much predicted what Machine Soldiers were going to do that round. They were going to go for the quick plant, basically ignore top floor, hold Prophet, hold Krugel, and go for that smoke plant. They basically they got plant down before any deaths. I think Stizzy was downed as the plant went down. So technically, you could say there was no deaths before the actual diffuser went down, which is very, very unlikely. Normally, you see at least 1-1 trade-offs on the entries, or at least two to one people killed before any sort of plant down goes down. So I mean that's very good situational awareness from the side of machine soldiers. I can't pronounce words at the moment, will we? I mean they are going back to the same side. Will they do the same strat of opening the hatch? I mean it didn't really play a disadvantage to them.
It didn't play a disadvantage, nor did it play an advantage to how that round ended up. So I don't think that hatch being opened is going to affect their decisions or anything like that. I feel like it's going to either, I don't know what they're going to do with it. If they want to keep it open, they have the castle up top with the super shorty, and he is going to open it up. But I mean, like I said, I don't really think the hatch being open doomed their chances inside of that round, because if you saw where the Machine Soldiers players were, there were a couple of them up top. They did open up some angles onto that office wall, but they didn't really establish any vertical angles with the sledge. And keep in mind that the sledge was alive for the majority of that round, and he did not, I don't think he made a single like sledge hole from above or anything like that. So
but he did. He opened the wall, the left side wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't double reinforced, so he didn't do actually any vertical play, but he did some horizontal opening of walls. Yeah, this wall is about to get open now. The same wall they've left soft. Maybe that's just for they don't have enough reinforcements, but I don't know why they would leave that wall soft. Maybe to force them through the wall, because it is more open. You see when he's peeking here, you don't have that cover from half wall, and when you push in, you can't see anyone on piano. So if there's a player playing piano, it could be a free pick. But obviously, you have to be careful of the piano double door at the same time, don't you?
What the Nomad doing?
I think just preventing any sort of bottom floor rotates. I
saw the way he was like facing that air jab, and it looked like it could have been exposed the way he was placing it. I don't know. It looked weird with the way he was aiming it. I don't know. But
I think they're gonna go for the same push.
I think they are as well. The holes have been opened up, I believe, from Heavy. He has the fuser in hand. I think he left it outside just for future pickups, but they did open up some angles inside of this dining room site. Nades are going to be prepped from Sloth as he is taking out the shield that is facing that wall. Minute and 15 left to go for Machine Soldiers, and they're looking to prep up for the same type of attack as before. But again, I mean, the Nomad did put an air jab on to those west side stairs. Adrian is still watching it though, and Prophet's gonna make a rotate, so he's probably gonna go inside of the line of sight of Adrian first if he doesn't read into that early enough, and maybe makes. He's not. They're just playing around a rosy with each other. 50 seconds left for the attack to make a push and make a play onto the site, and it's been over 2 minutes and no deaths have been recorded for neither one of these teams. Prophet is still roaming down from below. Finally, we have a first pick into this round, and it's Izzy from range with that MP5 on the Echo. Heavy finds his way into sight. He gets rid of the Echo drone. He's going to go for a plant. Krogel on a swing, and no overwatch for this defuse. Steno finally finds a trade, but I feel like it's way too late. 20 seconds left of 42 minutes, and it's for Ultrac Esports. Adrian, there's a player behind you, but look behind you. Oh, Prophet with a nice little flank from below, like I mentioned, and now we see Steno in a 1v4 situation, but he is in it for not too long because Fizzy is there below him with the MP5, and he's able to claim that kill and put Ultrac back onto level terms with Machine Soldier.
The main point for that round, Machine Soldiers got into the site, proning, but they had no cover for the plant. I mean, Creed went up top floor, and I think it was Not Creed. It was it Stizzy who went top floor? There was someone on top floor who just went up instead of watching the plant. I don't know why I'm talking about defense, but someone went top floor and you had a player playing trying to watch the bottom floor flank, and it just seemed misordered or chaotic from machine soldiers there. I mean, they had no sort of, they just didn't know what was happening. I don't think they had a plan for their plant situation there, Wumby.
No, I think they wanted to go for the same thing that they did last time. They were prepping it up, and they did the exact same thing. They just didn't. Again, they didn't really use the sledge for vertical angles. They only used it to open up like one side of the wall to cut off maybe angles. To open up an angle towards the master bedroom side because they have angles. In that wall between the wall that separates both the office and master bedroom side. Usually, they're having that top floor extensive hold or whatever, but they were going for the same thing they did last time. It just didn't work because the O-Track read perfectly into it, and they were able to capitalize off of that. You know, they did the opposite of what they did in the previous round before that, where they didn't get any.
I think that double shield actually helped inside of all tracks. I mean, they didn't have that last time. They didn't actually know they were going for that quick plant there, so it played against machine soldiers there. They need to sort of do a different style of plant there. That's the moment they need to go for top floor. I mean, talking about top floor, I mean, Sledge is already off the board, and Creed is off the board there, so it's already a 3 versus 5 here. Gorgle, beautiful play there. I mean, machine soldiers already 2 men down. Oh, bottom floor. Was he pushing there by himself? He was. That's a bit unfortunate there. They haven't got rid of the shield on top of jungle either. I mean, there's so much for machine soldiers to do this round. They lose a drone on that the Cade. I mean, it's all falling apart this round. I mean, they've got that shield, as I said, and probably another player playing in library. So they haven't got library control, and they're 2 men down. I mean, I don't know what your sort of strat calling from the IGL will be at this point. Would be.
Yeah, what can you do? What can you do in the situation?
Face headshot.
The smoke grenade just, I thought Siege was a one-shot headshot game. That should have been a headshot with the smoke grenade. I'm kidding, by the way.
Ubi, fix your game.
Yeah, Ubi, fix your game, please. I mean, jokes aside, Heavy does. He actually doesn't take any damage from that smoke grenade despite it being detonated right in front of his face. He ran away just in time of him not inhaling any of the smoke through the Habana's nostrils. I think he's gonna stay his position on top of this fireplace balcony. The shield has been destroyed, and he pushes himself further into the library, dropping back down into sight. And for O-Track, they still have not only like the man advantage, but again they have a good amount of map control and also site control as well. They've given up the top 4 control to Machine Soldiers Academy, so I mean not Academy,
they've got
Machine Soldiers.
Though.
So at least Machine Soldiers have that. Heavy taking control of Fireplace, Theno, and well, I was gonna say in library, but not no longer. Steezy with a nice nitro. So from below, a nice little swing from Krogel as he gets aggressive, and it leaves Adrian in a 1v5 situation. Doesn't have the LMG, but instead has the spear as he tries to spearhead his team into this final, or maybe into a round win here. He finds one of Luke and Mud, but he only has 10 seconds left to find 4 more. He still has a player behind him, but he doesn't even watch the swing. He has so many angles to watch. It gets overwhelming, and Adrian finally falls, and it is a round for O-Track Esports as they regain the lead from last time.
I mean, yeah, they lost way too many players early on into the round, and I mean they lost their players getting no map control at all. I mean, top floor, you need to get library. I think the only reason the only reason Machine Soldiers got library control was because Ultrac gave it up. I mean, they just pushed off. The Jaeger pushed back down to sort of set up crossfires for that late game push, and there was just not enough time on the clock for Machine Soldiers to do anything. I mean, I think Machine Soldiers just need to forget about that round. It was nearly a flawless, 1v5 situation at the end. Krugel, a massive play though. I mean, he got a triple kill that round. I think he got the initial 2 kills, and then they won the second last kill as well. So I mean, Ultra Esports are just popping off here. I mean, they are leading currently. And remember, if they win this game, they will get 1 point each, no matter of the round difference currently for this game. So Ultra Esports have so much to play for here. I mean, if they draw this game, they lose. They don't get any points, do they? I mean, it's all to play for. And I mean, I think from the way it's going right now, it's a very back and forward game. But I mean, Ultra have just been playing better. They've got back in their groove. They lost 4 rounds in a row, but now they managed to win 2 more in a row now. So they went from 4-3 now to 5 versus 5-4. So they're starting to gain their confidence back a lot more.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Old Track Esports. Last time I actually did get to pass that game of them against Praetorian, and I think I said during that matchup where they had the first map, which was on Chalet. It wasn't their map pick, it was actually Praetorian's map pick. They decided to take Old Track to one of Old Track's favorite maps. And I said for Old Track because Praetorian won that one into overtime, and I felt like Old Track most definitely should have won it. They lost that whole matchup after the second map. Clubhouse went 7-5 in favor of Praetorian. For them, this is about like just gaining, again, I think like you said, just regaining their confidence, because last time out they had a really tough loss where they most definitely should have won the first map. The second map was very, very close, and sometimes a lot of teams don't know how to really come back from that. And so for the first map in this side of this matchup, it most definitely didn't go into their favor. And so if they can gain a map win in this matchup, especially since this is their map pick, and it'll probably regain their confidence despite this being a draw or whatever, and despite them not getting the full 3 points. It'll help them gain their confidence back. Izzy takes out a drone as he's nestled really far up inside, next to the kennel's door with the moss brick in hand. So if anybody decides to push into that line of sight, if maybe decides to get very aggressive, and it looks like he is going
swing
to
now,
challenge Izzy.
Swing now, Stizzy.
Swing now, and he does, and he claims that kill. He does take a lot of damage, but Heavy is down, and that's a very important operator to kill for Stizzy. It's a swing, though, respectfully, from Slop, as Stizzy is down and out for the count, so no more smoke grenades in the pockets of Old Track Esports to burn out this clock against these attackers. Slop is looking to claim a second, as Luke takes a lot of damage from range as well. But again,
I mean,
even man count between both of these teams, Profit reestablishes that man advantage that they once had, with Steno equalizing the man count, possibly reestablishing the man advantage, and it's a 3K on the round for Steno.
What a 3K, may I add. I mean, he downed the player and got the 2K there. I mean, oh, God. Steno definitely saved Machine Soldiers there. I mean, we were talking about there's like 15 seconds left in the round, and they didn't have plant. They had obviously wall open, but I mean, Steno would just be like, "Oh, screw this, guys! I'm going straight in to piano and getting a 3K," and that just set off the entire round there. And I mean, it's 5-5 right now. I think whoever wins this next round is definitely in the driver's seat here. If Machine Soldiers win this next round, I mean, it's all over. But if Ultrax win it, then it's going to be a very, very fun last round, all to play for. Either Ultrax lose and they get 0 points, or Ultrax wins and they get 1 point out of it. I mean, but it all comes down to this final round, and they've gone to a site which they've gone 1-on-1 for on defense. So, I mean, it could go any way at this point. I mean, Bar Gaming, they need to hold top floor. They need to use vertical. I want to see if they do the same sort of thing as Machine Soldiers, which is open hatch, and they have done. So they are definitely going to play top floor. It seems like both of these teams are learning off what the other team has done. I think that is a key thing that's happening here, Wimby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. I feel like this is gonna go into overtime. We do have overtime in majors as well. Not
OT.
Yeah,
it's not 6-6, is it? Oh.
we have OT in majors, because in the best of 2, we need to determine the winners, and so in OT that's how it goes. You know, for minors we have draws. For majors, we do have the draws for the majors, but that's only
Steno.
if they win a map each. Steno gets the first kill inside of this round. That's Stizzy on the Echo too, so no more Echo drones in play for Ultra Esports. As for how effective Echo has been inside of this matchup, I can't really tell you. I haven't seen any real uses come out from Echo from
Maybe
neither one
if
of
he
from
had a
Ultra
drone?
Esports. Huh? From
Maybe-
Ultra No.
Sorry,
From Ultrac Esports, at least when they picked him, because Machine Soldiers haven't picked him whatsoever for Ultrac Esports. They've picked him a couple of times, but I haven't seen any effectiveness come out from his drones. Actually, Machine Soldiers picked him once, and the drones are continuously get destroyed from either one of these teams. Luke with a nice little refrag. We saw that in one case. Steno just watched his teammate die, and it is Luke to claim that kill onto the Sledge. So that's a very important operator to play game, because for Sledge, he can make so many vertical angles happen from above, and then also with how powerful nades are in this meta nowadays, he's very, very powerful in that department as well. 4v4 man or even man count between both teams as we approach a minute and
it depends if Sledge uses his abilities. We saw when Ultrac were on attack, they didn't use the Sledge to its full ability here. I'm just going to say it's a Cool Girl versus Steno game, and Steno is already eliminated, so that is now a 3 versus 4. Cool Girl gets a kill onto Herbie. It's already a 2 versus 4 at this point, and it seems Ultracs are going to win this round. All they've got to do now is get Plant down and just watch. I mean, Diffuse is already outside the breach, so all they have to do is watch their long angles, don't peek anything, and they will easily get this round. I mean, there's 40 seconds left, and they still haven't got Diffuser up. They've got top floor. They can use vertical angles. Asia's in dining, though. Will he manage to get a kill? Will he manage to sneak off any person? He does get a kill onto Korgul. That's Korgul down. I mean, they're just inside. They've managed to just sneak in, crouch down, and all the remaining players on all tracks are all on top floor. Gecko gets a kill onto Queez. It's now a 1 versus 3 situation, and Prophet gets the kill onto Adrian, clearing up that round for the side of all tracks. And I mean, I thought it could have gone Machine Soldier's way with that Thinker pushing into sight, Crouch walking into sight. But that top floor presence, I mean, you can make so many vertical angles if you have a shotgun. And I mean, they still had that super shorty up. So, I mean, I think that would have been an all tracks round no matter what. But it was good to see Machine Soldiers try and take the round for themselves. Try and get an unexpected victory there.
a lot of pressure is on Machine Soldiers, but it's also a lot of pressure on Ultrac at the moment, since they are unmatched points. So for Machine Soldiers, the reason why they're under pressure is because they want to put this into OT just so they can claim the first 4 points. Because it's unfortunate for them that they didn't even get to play their first match. They had to forfeit it because, again, I said this before, but they didn't have the required number of players to play, because 3 or 2 of their players had left before the season, before the games could even be, or well, right when we were approaching the beginning of the season, their players had left. And it was like, again, like I said, a few names to note was most definitely Den, who was a pivotal player and a very prominent figure in them being a league season 6 or season 7 champions. And no, sorry, we're in season 7, so season 6 champions. And he was like a really pivotal figure for them, not only as like a player, but also as a person, because he's such a unique personality. He was the captain for their team. He was the main he was the IGL, the shot caller, whatever you want to call it. And losing an IGL or shot caller, no matter how good your team is going to affect you tenfold. It does change a lot of how you play up. Like I'm thinking, for example, for DZ, when Canadian first joined, they weren't doing the best because, again, they had to get used to his shot calling and his IGLing, and now they're probably one of the better sides of NA. I mean, hell, they're going to like the North Carolina Major because they just beat SSG, who's been noted as probably one of the best, if not the best team inside of NAL. Maybe not in this stage, but like overall, I mean, they have like invitational winners on their team and stuff like that. And I can just like those are a few examples off of the top of my head, because, you know, again, like I said, Machine Soldiers, they have a point to prove. They want to be able to win their matches despite losing such a prominent figure, despite losing such a unique personality in Din. And they've done really well inside of this matchup, especially on the first match. And I feel like with Chalet being this close, they're doing really well despite not being in the lead, and despite Ultrac having the match point at the moment. But a minute and 35, over a minute has passed, and no kill for neither one of these teams.
Shield has
Utility
gone,
has been destroyed, especially on that west side stairwell. But again, like I said, no kills to no gunfights to take note of at the moment between neither one of these teams.
This could be a grenade kill from the Sledge, though. I mean, if he has a grenade, he still has one grenade, so he could get Luke. I mean, he is playing, that Jaeger's playing awfully close to that shield. I mean, he can't jump through this window. As we see, the grenade's going to come out now. He might get the kill if he bounces it correct.
Wow,
no, he just times it slightly off. Steno does get the kill onto Luke, though. Adrian gets kill onto Prophet, and Korgo gets a refrag. So 4 versus 3. Oh, Korgo just whiffs his shots there onto Steno, and I mean, that's a 4 versus 2. It's looking awfully dire on the side of Ultrax, and I think we might get that overtime that you wanted, Wumby. I mean, 37 seconds left. They've got all the map control they ever need, Machine. I mean, there's one playing in split we see there. He's just trying to defend any way he can.
Oh.
There's the split player gone. A beautiful headshot from Herbie, and Reese just finishes off the round. A nice, easy, simplistic win there for Machine Soldiers. And we're now in 6-6 OT. I mean, all to play for. I mean, my hairs are standing up on my arm right now. I mean, whoever wins this match, remember, if Ultrax win this match, they both get a point. But if Machine Soldiers wins, they get the 3 points. And they start off their season very well. I mean, other than that forfeit as you were talking about, for roster reasons, they have definitely, you could class this as their first game of the season in their eyes. They do want to get this win. And I think it's going to come down to an 8-7. I believe both the teams have done very well on attack and defend. I mean, it was 3-3, 3-3, wasn't it? So it could go any way. And it's a bit like our minor game. It's basically a continuation of the minor game from earlier, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very...
Site choice. What about the sites here, Wimpy? I mean, you would think they would go top floor here. Maybe.
I mean, Mark Gaming is like a very popular site for a lot of teams to play on. I feel like, for me at least, with the way that I see how it's played in top play, I think it's probably one of the easier sites to play, in my honest opinion. Because, I mean, the thing about it is that, obviously, you have to worry about library, you have to worry about a push coming in from the library hallway, like master, piano, and office, and that side of the map where Solarium is and stuff like that. But, like, I don't know, I feel like this site choice is kind of okay for Machine Soldier Academy. What would have been like a really weird site choice is if they went basement or something like that.
Basement. I don't think any team has gone to basement this game.
No. Ooh, probably.
So I mean, it could be. I mean, Ultrac, if they lose this round, they could try and throw Machine Soldiers off and go basement here. I mean, Kruger's going to try and sneak through. He did get killed one of these rounds sneaking on bottom floor. So it is a very big risk as pushing down below, but it could work massively in your favor here. I mean, all they need is one starting kill. All they need to do, really, I mean, there's a massive pop-off on Kruger right now. I mean, Kruger's popping off at 14 and 8, and Steno's popping off at 15 and 8. It's basically a battle of Kruger versus Steno. Oh, a beautiful gunfight out there from Prophet versus Adrian, and both of those are already down quite low. Here's the here's Kruger, as we were talking about, taking library stairs. I mean, this is already going very bad for Machine Soldiers right now. He has the control he needs. All he needs to do is try and get a kill onto Creed and prevent a player pushing up library stairs. Adrian does get that kill onto Kruger, as I was saying. That flank back up from library stairs. He was getting pinched from 3 different locations there. 3.
Yeah. Fargo did get the initial frag inside of this round, but he was immediately taken out by Adrian as Kreese follows that up on kill feed with a kill onto Stizzy. That's the Maverick gone, and this is the thing about Ultra Esports on Chalet that I've noticed a lot. This is a very big pattern, and that's why you see the fuser at the bottom of the main stairs. What they like to do is they like to go in from basement. They have their Maverick go in first, and then what they do is they make a line of sight into the closet to connect the closet between both bar and gaming. And they like to have their fragger hold the angle, just so that if a defender were to rotate, it'd be an easy kill for that fragger. And that's why you see Prophet there. Prophet has taken a lot of damage and a lot of heat from I'm not even sure where Sloth is in kitchen. He hasn't been dealt with. The swing comes in, and finally Luke is there to deal with them. Luke has been quiet in the last few of these rounds, despite being one of the
started off very well.
Despite being one of the top fraggers alongside Congo, he is 10 and 9, but he could have had more kills than that. Dano is able to down Prophet, and it leaves Gecko in the 1v3 situation. He was very close to getting a kill through the window, but unluckily for him, he didn't get it. And it's Adrian, the player that he was just aiming at through the window, who kills him from just below the hatch. And it is Machine Soldiers on OT match point.
If I was rewatching this back later, I would be quite annoyed I didn't get the kill onto that alibi there. But I mean, it was well executed from Machine Soldiers. I think, yeah, it was just very easy. They managed to get a kill, managed to get Diffuser down. I think if they can catch Ultrac off the Diffuser, if they can catch Ultrac with their pants down, get Diffuser in a very bad positioning, I think they can win. But on the side of attack here, I mean, Ultrac are going to their famous site of Kitchen and Dining, which they've won many times. They're going to open hatch. What you expect to do from Machine Soldiers is, I have a sneaky hunch here. I have a sneaky hunch they're going to do the same push they always do. Bait top floor, push down to bottom, open that double wall, and plant in the dining room bomb. I don't think that Ultrac have bought two. No, they've only bought one shield. So this could work. It could work, wouldn't it? We could be over 8-6 right now.
Yeah, Machine Soldiers have both of these teams have looked strong on both the attack and defense. I can't really say that they've looked weak, or that neither one of these teams or one over the other has looked like weak on one side and then like really strong on the other. It's been very evenly balanced between both of them. For Machine Soldiers, 7-6 up, overtime match point. A lot of rest. I mean, they have a good amount of, I would say, not even really stress, just a lot of relief on their shoulders since they are on match point. For Ultrac, they have a lot more stress on their shoulders since they want to continue.
They have to win 2 in a row.
They have to win 2 in a row in order to up to a point, because they are still without a point so far this season, but so are Machine Soldiers. But if Machine Soldiers win this round, then they have a full 3 points and they'll be ahead on the standings above Ultrac Esports. And for Ultrac Esports last year, this is one thing of note. They were previously Hyperion 5, and this is, if you guys know who Hyperion 5 were, they were the team that drawed almost all of their games. They drawed almost all of their games, but they didn't draw. They draw but one. They drawed all of their games but one, and that was a game that they actually lost. So they had every single result being a draw. No, this was in major. They had every single result being a draw, and then they finally didn't get a draw, and it was over. So there you go. Just some little trivia with Wumby. There you go. But as we get into this round, a minute has gone by. Luke takes some damage on this top 4 roam. Actually, not really him. That's actually Prophet, as Luke is actually rested right next to him. I'm not. Adrian, though. Actually, yeah, it is Luke and Prophet. So they're both on the top 4 roam, and he did take a lot of heat from one of these Machine Soldiers players. Adrian, who's already inside a bathroom, his position isn't exactly known. A shotgun blast is heard right next to them, but whether or not Luke knows that, it looks like Luke opened that shotgun hole up just to face their doorway. Stano opens this round up with the kill onto Prophet, so that is the Jaeger down. So it leaves Luke up on this top 4 by his lonesome. Adrian is there with the swing and a nice little read from Machine Soldiers as they completely dominate on this second 4 round.
Baiting the sound, that's all they did. They baited, they knew where the castle was, and they fired off his bullets. Oh?
all three of them
Oh.
just ran up trophy stairs and they paid forward. It's a bunch of kills going in Machine Soldier's favor. This could be the last round of Krogel doesn't shaping up here, and it is, and it's Machine Soldiers to walk away
It's
with
just
the full
done.
3 points.
It's over. I mean, what? I mean, the defense just charged up. I was like, I was talking about how they were using vertical there, and I just see, they're charging up. I just look over, and I'm like, what? And that's it. I mean, Machine Soldiers wrapped up the 3 points, and I mean, what a final round. I mean, have a look at that scoreboard. 20-8 from Steno. What a game. And I mean, what a series from Steno. I mean, how many kills was that in total? He got 20 for the first map, and then it was, I'm trying to get my stats up here, 14 and 5 for the other one. So he had 34 kills over both of those games, 1B. And I mean, let's just give a round of applause here. Beautiful from Steno there. Definitely the carry on Machine Soldiers.
Yeah, and I mean, for Machine Soldiers, a lot of those kills were, again, I mean, you look at those kills and you look at the, like, his KD, and a lot of people may think, oh, stat padding and all that stuff, and a lot of people may think, oh, like, look, a lot of kills, but a lot of those kills were very impactful to a lot of the rounds that Machine Soldiers were winning. Like, almost every single time, I've said this before, but on Oregon, but even on Chalet, it still rings true. Like, every single time he got an opening kill, every single time he got his 2Ks, his 3Ks, Machine Soldiers were winning rounds. So Steno is most definitely going to be the MVP for this matchup. And I mean, everybody on Machine Soldiers played well. As for Ultrac Esports, you could say the same for them, but that was mainly on Chalet. Oregon was a blip, and it was most definitely a dominant win, a dominant display for Machine Soldiers. But Chalet was a lot better from them, and it could be because it's like one of their better maps. This is like the second time actually in a row where inside of season 7 so far, in 2 play days, they've went into overtime on Chalet and they've lost it. So maybe I don't know if they need to do like maybe some VOD reviews or maybe look at
some pressure situations.
Yeah, like maybe
they just need to work on that.
They may need to work on that, or maybe even look and focus on other maps in which they could play on, because Chalet is probably one of their more played maps. Teams have played them on Chalet before, so they know how to play against them, and Machine Soldiers won because of that. So it's a win for Machine Soldiers. They claimed the full 3 points, and again, if you weren't here for the minor league, for the minor league game, that ended in a draw between Nerf Miners and Goldinis. I think that is all for us today. We won't have any interviews.
Yeah, that is.
And
no interviews today. I mean,
no interviews.
Yeah, just a beautiful game. I mean, be sure to check it out back on the VOD review if you want to see the minor game, or if you missed the first game of the major, the video will be on past broadcasts, so make sure to check it out. Make sure to check out the Twitter, and I've been Pyro, and that's been 1B. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Twitch stream today. Thank you for listening, guys. I should have said